like rain on your wedding day.
I need to start
All
muting
going
Dallas
in.
before we start recording.
This is why sometimes... Hi, welcome to rain number 16. This is why sometimes when we're doing fail portrayal, I have to, like, deafen and mute at the end of the stream so I can, like, do the outro properly because we're too busy yapping. I'm just like, hold on. I need to actually end the stream and move on. Sorry, hold on. Anyway, hi, it's Rain. Before we get into the thick of it, the meat of it, the cut of it, I would like to quickly shout out to our patrons like Adding Heart, Blexa G, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, JDV9000, Just the Fae, Kaiser, Chris Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kester, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Ramen Trevor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. Thank you very much for your support. I felt somewhere around the Carlos end that I almost burst into like a rap. I will not be doing that. I do not have those skills. We will need a lot more patrons to be paying a lot more money for me to try and turn saying the names into some sort of rap jingle.
Would you say you are not the Miggity Miggity Mac Daddy?
I don't think I've ever been that in my life. Anyway, what I am is hot. Because, you know, swamp.
Swamp.
As the sun goes down, it will cool off. But we're going to play Rain. So, when we last left off, I don't want to say we lost the plot, but I threw a masquerade at you.
Yeah, that is true.
And some people got very involved.
Yes.
But we do have a couple of things before even we get to that day to talk about some things and get through, as Inos has invited Noctiluca and her brother Vachlin over for tea in the afternoon.
Hello.
And it is roughly about the tea time. And you have just come back. Well, all of you have been doing your various day tasks and stuff. For instance, I believe Nicola was spending, most of the morning and lunch with his sister.
Yes.
But you guys have been able to reconvene after the rather lengthy King's Council session. And as I brought up off mic earlier, I'm fairly certain that Leslok said that he would catch everybody up to speed with what he could from the meeting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this is now probably the time when such speed catching comes. And like I said, if people don't have any, like, pressing back and forth questions with the meeting,
no, not about the meeting. No.
We
I have
can
to
kind of
corner
wave through that because everybody obviously
someone
is there.
at
Yes,
some
I know.
point.
I know Nicola wants to speak with Inos. Would you want to do that before or after Enos's afternoon tea?
Oh no, this would be at the night time.
Okay, so that'll be later. Would you believe Inos has announced his plans to
I have to keep it secret.
It's safe. Club tonight?
Yes.
Right, okay. In that case, I will double check with everybody. Besides,
I was gonna corner him at the club.
Any of your own afternoon plans? Sorry, it's just the fucking, I don't know why, but the heat is overcoming me.
No, Konrad doesn't have any afternoon plans.
Okay. It does sound like everybody is kind of not in there.
I sent the stuff to pause. Oh God, and
Oro.
A names are gonna kill me.
Dramatis Personae exists.
Alarion.
Okay. Well, what? Sorry, I'm stuttering. What stuff was that?
The third of an ingot of orichalcum for mask decoration.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kept a third for Illyria, and then...
Okay.
Or not Illyria. Oh, fucking...
I love when you get caught up on your own sister's name, because as I like to say, this
Alestra.
Is it on your sheet?
Yes, you know who it's under? My cousin, Aurelia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't...
I mean, you could
I know you said, like, the Dramatis is accessible, but it's like, you think Dallas can read a blob of A names all together and pick out which one he wants?
And also my good friend, Alias, and his there's so many A names, man. Agave. Aquila, Oster,
I do think I favor names that are earlier in the alphabet just because they appear sooner on name lists. So when I see a good one, I'm like, ooh, that one. They're not all A names, but it
Oh
does
no,
happen.
I just gravitated randomly towards a lot of A names. It just happened.
So once again, you've done this to yourself. Anyway,
This is all self-inflicted wounds.
I think the only other than afternoon thing, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on with people otherwise.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean,
Sorry.
take a second, try and cool off for a second. Is postage, because I know there was concern about that. You've been granted access to a courier who can fly. So
Yeah.
I also know there was some question of gathering up packages and mail.
Yes.
So
Inos does have several letters to write, but he was probably going to leave that for the evening. He will inform everyone that we have secured the services of a courier packet, a courier that can deliver letter and packages in a more timely manner.
In that case, Nicola probably will send some messages. Who would I send back home?
I'm trying to think.
I probably would I tell my mother about the courtship stuff? I don't know if I would.
Letter to family.
I'll probably send a letter to my mother, but probably
I
just
think
a letter.
Conrad, since he literally wrote a letter and sent it off yesterday, will go track that letter down because I'm sure it hasn't left the city yet.
Oh yes, if you were sending by conventional post, yes, you can just probably go to the post office and be like, "Hey, is my letter left yet?" No. Cool. Can I have it back?
Yeah,
I wish we mend.
just
Alright,
do
sure.
that and then give it to for delivery with the courier instead.
Well, you may be missing something, but we'll talk about that in a sec. And I wish a clarification on that statement there, Axe. You wish to, because you still don't have a mirror for you. You wish to get a second mirror to send via the mail. You want to ship a mirror.
Because that was always the plan before I needed a mirror myself.
Okay, this is the first time you've communicated that part of the plan.
I've communicated this as like this mirror was the gift the whole time. I've talked to about you multiple times.
Which one? Whomst?
Mother.
Where'st?
Cressida.
Wouldn't your mother already
Your
have
mirror,
a mirror?
your mother doesn't need a. Well, I mean, you already said you were planning on getting her something nice as a mirror, but like, your mother doesn't need a magic mirror. That's in her spell list. Presumably, she has one already.
Yeah, I know. I was just getting her a nicer one. But yeah, you're right.
We talked about
I've said this to you
getting her,
multiple
like,
times,
a
but you never
hand
said
mirror or something. But like, you're separating this out. Also, you already got that. That you were like thinking about gifts in like Tron. I know we put off like clarifying what that would be, but like literally that was weeks ago.
Okay,
You said that Leslok was going to go out and get a gift, and we didn't need to figure out exactly what it was then.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was more just we never actually we never did anything about that then.
No,
Okay,
when I say that when we have a conversation and the point or the conclusion, I guess should is that the actual like detail doesn't matter, and I'm said we'll just cover it. We just cover it. We don't need to go back.
Okay,
to
then.
Omega,
Okay.
I apologize for asking this, but it's been like 50 billion years.
It's been 16
I
years.
sent, when we got here 2 days ago, technically,
Roughly.
I had already sent a letter to home informing them of my sister's safety, right?
I think so. I brought this up earlier. I'm pretty sure you mentioned you sent a letter back to your dad already. So
Okay.
yes, I think so.
And I'd probably send just a letter to my mother, knowing that everything is progressing well. I'd probably make sure that Leslok and Konrad are sending letters back to their respective mothers.
No, Conrad's already got you
making-
covered because he already wrote that letter. It's just,
Good.
Yeah, working on it.
Konrad's a good boy.
That was the plan.
You know what? Fuck the Silver Tower. I'm going to write them a letter saying that I am a master enchanter and I'm taking Aurelia as my student. And they have been duly informed. We can fight about it when we get back.
Do you want me to do you want me to put that with my letter?
Inos. I know. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
my nose.
P.S. Inos kidnapping Aurelia. I wouldn't actually send that. I don't think my mom has a sense of humor. No, she might. My dad definitely doesn't.
Ugh.
But yeah.
Triple sevens.
Hey.
I can't believe we
Yes.
didn't start off with the normal roll nonsense.
No, we're on the ball today. All right, yes. You write a very politely worded letter that enumerates the reasons why you are, in fact, a master enchanter,
Oh
and
god,
therefore
sorry.
it's okay for you to take Aurelia Logi as your
I
suitor.
enchanted a
I
boat.
thought
did
you were about
enchant
to
the boat.
say you wrote an entire script telling them that you are in fact him.
No,
Look, I
we
mean,
don't.
honestly,
We don't need to reference Dracula Flow at all times.
I have to pull
honestly,
the
they
knee out again.
probably-
I blame you for
He
that, but
started.
yes, sorry.
They probably would be more chill with Enos, considering wouldn't the Silver Tower work at least kind of closely with the Iron Demons?
Yes, they have an amicable relationship,
Like,
and the Silver Tower's like
They at least respect the
mystique,
game.
their
They
their
respect
austere
the
of
game.
secrecy is built on respect for the Iron Demons.
Yeah, they respect the
yes.
game.
And that's why Enos is sending them a letter to inform them of the situation instead of just doing it.
Well, like I said, I wanted him to make a graces roll because this is technically a persuasion. You are sending them a letter, but you can write a nice, polite letter that says all the things you need to say for them to, be believing and understanding and not cause any problems because technically by writing in your letter, you're taking Aurelia as your student. You are outing her as a soul crafter.
Yes.
But you're doing it in a way that says, dibs,
Yes.
Dibs.
no take backsies.
The secret deep art of dibs.
I licked her. She's mine now.
What circle is that in charge?
Excuse me.
Charge of that?
No, I got it. I got it, Lucky.
Oh, I know. I'm just thinking of the reaction. All right. Also, sorry, I stepped away for a second there. I had to rotate my fans and put on a new shirt. I don't know why it's suddenly turbo hot in here at 7:00 at night, but it is. I will soldier on and try not to bitch and moan too much. Okay, so Enos has written his letter.
I have 3 letters. Excuse me. But
Yes.
yeah, one is to my family, one is to the Prince of Treachery, and one is to the Silver Tower.
Okay. Konrad has recovered his letter. Nicola's got a new letter he's writing. It's pretty casual.
Yeah.
Logesh, you want to write any letters? You don't have to.
Oh.
We've established you are an orphan.
Yeah.
It hits a little bit different.
Orphan privileges.
Nah. I was thinking in my head, would Logesh instead of a letter write a diary or something? Nah. Not this time.
Okay, no. That's fine. You have other things to think about.
It's so fucking cold today. What the? Sorry.
It's because you're upside down. I am hot, therefore you must be cold.
What the
Watch in 3 months I'll be fucking freezing and you'll be like, I'm dying, it's hot.
I wouldn't be able to say anything. I'll just be a puddle.
Yeah, basically.
My house has melted. Okay. I'm reasonably certain. What's your current wealth level?
5.
Leslok? Okay, 5. Yeah, that should probably pretty easily cover.
I assume an
Nice
actual
mirror.
silver mirror.
Yeah. It would be that's how you make mirrors. They're back to silver.
What, no mercury mirrors?
No.
I feel the alchemist uses
Also,
mercury
guess
for other
what?
shit.
You would call that quicksilver.
True.
But no, I'm just going to double check if there are any specifics on the nature of the mirror. Yeah, so the spell mirror takes a large size mirror. If you want to start developing Sending Way, you do need paired items, and they have to be together. So,
Then I might as well Then I might as well get I guess might as well get it now for later. 2 paired sets of journals.
Okay. Yes, that's that. If you want to go that route, that's infinitely easier. Yeah. Get some nice paper. Okay. That should all be accomplishable within your wealthist level.
And if I can't do it physically, I'll just get someone to do it. 'Cause it's nothing crazy.
I'm fairly certain in the shopping district you'll be able to find like decently sized journals, and you can buy them in a pair. Yeah, it does have to be a larger mirror, but that should easily be within like wealth 3 or so.
I assume
you're
it's
good.
like torso size instead of like person sized.
Yeah, it's not floor length, but it would be bigger, probably be a couple feet on the side.
Gotcha. So it'd be like the size of a.
It's a wall mirror as opposed to a floor length mirror.
Gotcha.
It can be oval shaped or it can be square. It doesn't have to be.
I'm gonna say a shield size mirror just so I have a quick reference.
Yeah, if it is oval, that's definitely a good one. Yes. Also, probably describes how heavy it is. Anyway, all right. Leslok goes shopping for a mirror. And at this point, I also want to say if at some point during this push about mail, Konrad doesn't remind Leslok that at some point when speaking about messages home and stuff, Lucy Essick will take advantage of this to send a note back to her dad. Probably unless the group doesn't want her to do that. Talking about the letters of marque and getting her dad started on the process of looking around for boat captains.
No, that makes sense.
You're good.
But
I would probably also ask if the young Wayland wanted to send a letter home as well.
She might have some correspondence. That's not a big plot deal. Assume that since you're taking a second to be like, hey, mail call, you got letters, give them. Assume people who wish to write back will write back. Like Aurelia probably has a note for her mother and so on. But I was saying, I'm bringing up Lucy because Lucy would, at some point in this go to Leslok, sorry, I forgot for a second. And, be like, Marquess, did you see that note from Konrad about the situation with the request, I should say, from House A?
Like this is one of those moments of Leslok would know. I don't. I've been juggling bullshit.
Yeah, I'm about to say this is one of those.
I should know
I'm
this,
sure
but I don't.
whether Leslok or Axe has the deer in headlights right now.
I think Leslok would remember.
Well, because Aaron brought this up.
Was brought up
off
recently
mic earlier.
Yeah,
I believe you said you wrote it as you sent a note to, like you wrote down a note to give to Leslok and Lucy about it.
Yeah, when Konrad got back from his dinner with House Egg, we had already moved on roleplay wise to something else, so I had typed in chat that I was leaving a message for Lucy and Leslok about it. So
yeah, so in that case, yes, it would have been something that that Leslok would have at least probably skimmed on his like letter desk, his inbox.
I think he would have
whatever.
tried. I think he would have remembered it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I apologize.
Yes. So that was the comment that at dinner with House Anka was brought up to Konrad that there was a discussion about a cousin, a relation of the heir to House Blaka, Coralia Blaka. She was originally supposed to be married into the Essok family, but her prospective bridegroom died over the winter. And so, the whole thing was called off. And it kind of sounds like the Countess and maybe Douglas were going a little around the current head of Blaka. But it was brought up that Coralia still wishes to like continue that arrangement by, being fostered and trained in House Essek. But that's a kind of thing that, requires the approval of your liege lord. That's you.
Sorry, I was thinking. Is that a case where Leslok could then set a thing where he will delegate it to House Essex to manage it?
No, I mean, you
Oh,
would
okay.
just say whether or not they
You
would do
say
it.
cool
You-
or not
yeah,
cool.
you
Yes,
must
go ahead.
approve or
Go
disapprove.
with it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was thinking 2 steps ahead of what I should have said. Yes.
No, you have to remember, you're the boss.
Yeah, no, it's just
I know that part.
she
I was thinking
require
about the
your
other parts of the
approval.
process.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do anything. It's just you must, because you are higher up the food chain, you must agree to it or not agree to it. You say you agree, okay.
You're right.
All right. All right, so we'll keep that in mind.
I'll put that. I'll just make it as our 3rd letter. I guess make that. I guess.
You don't need to write any letters.
Lucy will write a letter.
All right, then that's also.
I mean, Lucy will probably go call on House A. You're in town.
Oh yeah.
She's not really doing anything.
Yeah.
Lucy's in kind of the same situation as Leslok, where even though she's still like young, she's only 18. She is a full, landholding lord in
Lots
House
of
Logi
it.
because her father retired. So like, it's kind of weird for her to be like at social debuts with like untitled nobles and squires when she has fucking adult shit to do.
See, this is why it's better to have no responsibility.
Please stop.
Also, you have loads of responsibility, buddy.
Yours is more just the physical one.
I don't have inherited responsibility.
That's fair.
You can at least see all your responsibility ahead of you.
I chose my responsibility.
Sorry, I'm doing some movement in the document.
And currently I'm trying to break the laws of physics, so... meh.
Well, you're not trying very hard yet. Okay, all right, cool. I think that sufficiently covers our letter cycle. That went on slightly longer than I intended it to. Story
That was
of our
like 20
life.
minutes. That wasn't that bad.
Wow.
That's still probably 10 minutes too long.
Fair.
All right. So, okay. Your packages are bundled together. Kaleno comes calling. Some of you, hey, you meet a wing lady. She is part bird.
Neat.
Yes.
Ah.
I see you're already making great strides on that initiative or plan.
Inos, like before he sets off, will inquire when she has free time.
For what?
Well, just to sit down and talk, maybe have a meal.
I think that probably, the talking about, sitting, talking, having a meal, kind of, you get a very avian head tilt. Like, oh, right, yeah, a chat, I guess. A chirp. A yap.
A chirp.
Well, it'll probably be, got across the strait, so it'll probably be, 5 or 6 days from all the way back round. After that, I guess it's just, whether or not the Lord Cursor needs me for any more packages. He did say I was at your disposal, so I suppose I'll just pop back here and check in first.
Inos will nod to that and be like, excellent.
All right, okay, load it up. All right. Holds out, a hand for courier fees.
Inos will pay them.
All right. You'll be done. You just, throw a couple crowns in. Just kind of, jingles the coin, stares at him. Does like, the you've not as like checking if your coins are real, but does do the kind of like bitey thing you feel like out of nervous habit, like just like shiny. Yep, that's a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Those.
Well, it's also to sharpen the beak.
Well,
Oh, it's not chocolate.
Sad.
Not bird head though. Does have a feather hairstyle, but
Okay.
actually.
Sorry, I was
mostly less
imagining the
teeth, by
people
the way.
from I was imagining the bird people from fucking Zelda.
No, not quite that bird like. We're a
Not the
little
readable.
more bird, but do note very pointy teeth in there. But yeah, so puts it all in, packages everything up. Your mail gets bundled up and stuffed into one of her many pockets in like her leather apron or haversack. Those of you who are sending things back, if you were going to send some heavier stuff, those would go in other pouches, and then it's just secure flat cap, goggles down, pulls a scarf up over the bottom of her face, does another salute, and just takes off, goes up and away. And as noted, while Harpuya can fly, they take a minus 3D penalty to stealth while flying, so it's loud. But it's up and away. And she'll fly as the crow flies. Ha ha.
Ha.
Oh.
But that's why, like I said, talking about 6 days round trip.
No, makes sense.
Because basically gonna fly up the coast, maybe cross diagonally overland, and then just settle in for a night, and then probably one day's trip will be to fly across the fucking strait, the Ice Heart Strait, and then on. And I don't know if I remember mentioning this before, but I would say that her kit, her livery is very clearly marked with the symbols and colors of the King's Couriers, so there won't be any accidental confusion about what the fuck is this bird woman doing. If people will see a bird woman in the sky and can actually look up with a telescope, they'll be able to be like, courier, got it. All right, okay, we move on to tea then, I think. So's. As invited. Well, actually, I'll double check. Was it just the members of House Rieraus you wished to come to tea, or were you expecting anybody else to pop along, Inos?
No. Today it was just Noctiluca and Vauclin.
I have a question, Lucky.
Yes, before we get into the tea.
Oh, sorry. Inos, would you have mentioned that you were going to the club tonight?
Probably a brown breakfast, yeah. Enos probably discusses his plans with everyone just so they know where he is.
Then I'm probably gonna head over there too early to set some things in motion.
All right. Nicola pops out for the afternoon. It's all right. All right. So yes, as indicated, the two members of House Rieraus come calling. Let me double check. It was thinking about who else is here. Okay, no, it was mostly House Lampago that's in force. So no, Noctiluca's dad, though you met him in a previous year, is not present in Lampclair currently. He's busy doing stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting bat devils.
Bat devils!
Scree.
And
Scree.
So,
not make
Noctiluca
Jesus.
and Vauclin show up. Noctiluca has, a lovely dark sun parasol to keep the sun away.
Excellent. Lovely.
Wearing a suitable, sociable dress. Vauclin, her brother, is, tall, gangly, similarly kind of like ivory-skinned, a little bit darker hair. And I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but it is now in my notes that his eye color is kind of, the opposite, whereas, Noctiluca is kind of such a light brown that it's almost red. Vauclin has kind of that, so dark brown that it's basically black.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very dark eyes. And he's kind of, like I said, he's also wearing kind of subdued dark colors, very lanky. He kind of, moves to some of those as your first meeting, kind of moves and speaks in an almost sleepy way, but he does have, a certain rapidity to his motion when he wants to. And the both of them are, armed with station appropriate, rapiers and daggers and so on.
Neat.
Yeah, so you take tea.
Take tea.
In the presumably you have a parlor or out in the garden.
Probably out in the garden, because I do also wish to invite our young debutantes, Aurelia, Erwin, and then Hurin and
Alestra.
Alestra. Yes.
Yep.
And we will just have tea, discuss the upcoming festival. I'm sure by now news of the fact that there's going to be a masquerade ball has gotten around.
Yes, because the king did say that everybody would have to be informed. So yeah,
Mm.
the various members of the houses spread that news back.
Make polite guesses of what some of the events may be. Ask about what everyone thinks they're the strongest in, what they're the weakest in. And see if I can, what's the term I wanted in? Get the beginnings of some bonds between Vauclin and our young debutantes and stuff. While I don't literally do this, but while I bat my eyelashes at Noctiluca.
Yeah, I was gonna phrase it as make moon eyes at Noctiluca.
Mm-hmm. She is my knight. Where else would the moon be?
He's making moves, but also making moves.
Money moves. But yeah, no. Let's see. Yes, Vauclin is suitably, polite, straightforward. He's not, especially like above averagely charming or anything, but he seems to know what he's doing. Maybe a little more perceptive leaning than some of the other people on your crew, your youngins, who do have a. You may recall from previous meetings and experiences, and also those of you who are sticking around for tea, because obviously Inos is making sure to invite specifically your various young people, but it's your house, so they're around.
Yeah, I can't tell you to get out of your house.
Yeah. That one of the things House Rear Mouse is known for is night fighters and night raids. Like the actual process of during a battle, they there are some historical accounts of members of the family like going out in the middle of the night, wearing nothing but shirt sleeves and breeches so you don't rattle around and attacking enemy camps while they sleep and stuff.
That's pretty rad.
It's one of their moves.
Sounds like unconventional tactics.
Yeah, I think it comes from like the Cavalier years of warfare. That's an actual. I don't remember the term for the night raid, but that's an actual like documented Spanish strategy. There's lots of heroic stories of, like I said, guys in nothing but white shirts and rapiers going out to poke people.
Give them the
Because they're
stab.
dead. But yeah, so like I said, seems a little more perceptive than some of the others, though. Certainly got some interest around, and he knows his way around a sward, so I'm sure that goes over well with Hurin, who is about his age,
Mhm.
and Thorin's slightly older than the two of them. Aurelia's probably much more interested in conversing with Noctiluca. You may have to, if you want more one-on-one time, you may have to actually, shoo her off a little.
No, I won't. I am just happy that she is here. And if my student takes interest and is taking interest in someone I am interested in, I do not see that as a bad thing.
Yeah, I think that's not. I don't need to have you make a roll to note this. Actually, it just kind of happened when doing stat generation for Noctiluca, but she is technically a very, very basic alchemist.
Oh,
She knows she has an alchemy rating of 2 and knows exactly 2 spells: Fire Sand and Light Salt. So, like, very minimal knowledge compared to other people. We're not going to discuss how many ranks Paz Oro has in Alchemia right now, for instance.
Okay, I'm genuinely curious. I want to know if I have more.
no.
Well, you'd have to be in a scene with Paz Oro and do something to figure it out. But this feels like the kind of thing that would have come up in conversation before. So yeah, she, actually has some training in the mystical and figuring stuff out. It's not her primary focus, but like I said, she's got 2 very practical spells, effectively 2 practical formulas memorized. So that's one of the reasons why Aurelia probably finds it interesting to talk to her.
Light sand is basically the flash powder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Fire sand.
Fire sand. Ah, okay.
The gunpowder equivalent. Alternative to demon fire. Also makes pretty fireworks. What's great for what's a good use of a firework or flare type device? Scaring weird bat creatures.
Oh yeah. No, I imagine light sand would get a lot of use against bat creatures.
Yeah, light salt and the fire sand. They were very practical ones I picked. It also, probably comes up in conversation of something that is different between, the 2 of the groups, in that technically both Noctiluca and Vaughn have a little bit of skill with bows, specifically crossbows. That is usually how they do their ranged combat down there. Even though they know about like fire sand and demon fire for explosives, they don't usually use firearms because they're loud.
I was about to ask, was it because they're loud?
Yeah. Crossbows are not silent like some video games like to portray them, but they are a hell of a lot quieter than an arquebus or a cannon. And they're a fairly common hunting weapon. So yeah, both of them have a little bit of bows as well. So, there's things you can talk shop about. And there's things that are kind of different, and it's just probably a pleasant little conversation.
Yeah,
anything specific anybody wants to bring up with them? Otherwise, we can just keep going.
Inos will probably inquire to Noctiluca if they know how long they're going to be staying. Were they going to be staying for the entirety of the festival and leaving immediately, or will they be staying in the capital for a while?
That will probably depend on what the Baron is thinking. But, as you have no doubt heard from him about the small army of marriageable prospects he has brought, I suspect he is planning a long social season for the rest of this month. It is possible we may depart early if my father requires us, but for now the intent is to remain. She kind of, stares into the long, dark depths of the tea for a second, and it probably says, probably about a week.
Inos will nod to that. Inos will also bring up that he has discovered a club with private membership, but he would like to invite her to it at some point. So maybe in the next couple days, if she has a free evening, he would like to take her to it.
Right. And did you say you wanted to get Estelle just to cover for your other invite?
Yeah. So it was one of those things of like, I'm trying to think of who do I have. I'm just like, wait a minute. It's just I know the princess. I know she's the founder, and it might be a little bit of a move, but technically it's someone I know. So,
yeah, and she is from a different house, so
yes.
No, it works. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, Noctiluca will mention she's probably heard some rumors of some of the people from your generation going out at night gathering.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks it's an honor to be invited, and yeah, she'll take you up on that some evening that makes sense.
Okay. But I do believe that is it for me. I think we've already talked about the troubles in her lands.
Yep.
I have got the debutantes to sit down and talk together. and I invited her to the Star Club. So I think that covers everything I wanted with this tea session.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I suspect Nicola's probably hovering, because his sister is there.
No, I'm at the club.
Oh, right. Yes, you're gonna fully go to the club at afternoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Agnes, what are you doing at the club?
Getting crunk.
Getting tipsy?
Just socializing.
Alright.
Although if anyone is people watching me, they will notice my eyes are drawn to the entrance.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's. I posted the actual confirmed list of members earlier. I will not distract and bamboozle Nicola this night. The Marin twins do not show up this afternoon or evening to the club, though they are members. Just because I know that would be very distracting for him.
Thank you.
But there are a few people you see around. Probably. For the rest of the afternoon, I think the princess actually said she was going to be out, so not her. But there's a couple of other people around. You may actually spot. Ekta Cheval or Egan Ferretti, having an afternoon tea by themselves.
I'll probably just make small chat with them.
Yeah.
If they're interested. Oh, I wish I brought that. Never mind.
All right. Yeah, so you're just chilling, waiting. Okay. Leslok, what do you do during tea time? Just gonna stare at your shiny mirror? Man, that's a cool mirror.
Bruh.
Marquess Logesh.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I want a little acknowledgement there. We talked about name confusion earlier. Yes, I did indeed say Leslok. I was not talking to the other guy because he's deafened.
I know. I was just
It's all right.
move along. It's kind of pathetic.
I mean, I don't think it's pathetic. You don't got anything. You don't have any plans. We need to get better about not trying to fill every second of the air with minutiae.
Yeah, about to do anything special. Move on.
If you think later there was something you would have been doing that actually is significant to bring up, hit me.
Things I want to spend time with, I think they're busy right now anyway. It's not
all right,
complicated.
Cool. I will assume for the moment that Logesh is in whatever, off-camera void that Leslok is, just for the sake of simplicity, and we'll get back to that in a second. Comrade, do you dip out anywhere particular?
He's probably gonna go out and do some shopping.
Okay. Let me know if any of your shopping materials are important. Otherwise, we shall move on.
He's gonna start gathering his workman stuff.
It shouldn't be too hard. I mentioned before, now since news of the Masquerade has brokered, the mask sellers are out in force, and there's also probably lots of bits of clothing and costumery you can acquire as needed.
Okay.
All right.
And then probably, I will say that after that, he's probably going to then be going to the club to use it as his kind of hideout. Keep the costume there.
All right. Yeah, I don't know when the concept of the locker room was invented, but since there is that sparring and athletics area in the ground floor, there has to be something to the equivalent of a changing room and storage things.
I would assume that they would have at least small personal wardrobes, because also the point of the club is to go there and relax and socialize, and you probably don't necessarily want to wear what you arrived in with so
you'd be walking the street. So no, there's definitely got to be like you said, wardrobes or trunks or something, and a changing area.
Okay.
All right. Well, since Loth undeafened, I will ask, around tea time, Logesh, do you do anything? You don't have to. I'm just asking.
I think what Logesh would do was probably get started on trying to define and look into what kind of mask he'd wear for the Masquerade.
Oh, do you want to go to the Masquerade? Do you want to crash?
Kind
Because
Oh,
you're
actually,
over
wait, no.
you're 20 years or older, so you're not.
I think I
Normally
remember
invited, but-
saying Logesh would not do that, but
Yeah, you're free to change your mind.
Leslok is going, right?
Not at this time. He's not committed.
Hmm. I'll prepare
And-
one just in case.
I didn't have to go.
That's fair. You never know when you'll need one. All right, so I'm gonna step away for a sec, and you guys can.
Look, Omega bribed me into crashing.
Yes, no, I know what's up. I know what I'm doing. But I'm going to pause the recording and step away for a second. I'll be right back, and then after that, we'll move into your evening time, which will also probably flow, hopefully, relatively quickly. Anyway. Okay, we're cooking again.
Hot fire.
All right. So yeah, then I think the only thing then that we know for sure is happening this evening is Inos is going to, after, polite goodbyes at tea.
Mhm.
You nip off to the club for around dinner time, I think.
Yes.
And it just so happens that when you get there, Nicola is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, cousin.
Cuz, fancy meeting you here.
Yes, of course. Would you mind having a quick word in one of the side rooms? I wanted to speak to you about something.
I have a feeling that this is gonna be anything but quick, but yes, of course.
Okay. Are there side rooms, or did I just make that up?
No, I think there's side rooms.
Yeah,
They're not like we don't have like
lock
locked door chambers, but we have like
Oh, no,
little
that-
like
that's-
little
parlors.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
they
shouldn't be a problem.
have small private parlors. I mean, technically, I don't know if they are lockable, but there are like spaces where if you wanted to crash and like sleep here, you can. There are like nap couches.
nap
So-
couches.
So once we get
There's private
into
spaces.
once we get into one of the side parlors, Nicola will pull out a small tuning fork from his coat pocket, hit it against the side, and breathe deeply onto it. I'd like to cast a spell.
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize you'd taken this one, but sure.
Yep. Let me get. I think it's called Soundwell.
Something like that.
Something sound.
All right, well, roll your coordinate plus anima.
Yep. It's the is one of the only non-attunement 1 point spells in anima.
That's a useful one, I would think.
Are you serious?
Go ahead and Enos, make me an eerie roll.
Of course.
Well, so I wanted to make the roll because you failed.
I know.
Because if you'd succeeded, he would actually know what this spell was because
Oh, yeah.
he's seen it before.
Yes.
I remember. Enos, despite the fact that you don't know jack shit about spells, you're pretty sure Nicola just tried to cast that one weird thing you remember Alarian Marin doing at the ice cream social, where she like created a weird sound barrier
This is
thing.
so much harder than alchemy.
Enos kind of tilts his head, gives you an eye. It's like, cuz, when did you pick up wind witchery? Or are you just pretending and this is a new gag?
No,
you're playing showing off?
I've been attempting to learn the basics for the last year. I cannot attune to it, but there are plenty of useful spells outside of it. I just can't seem to get the hand of it.
I mean, you could attempt to cast it again. It's been like a couple of minutes.
I'm going to do it,
It
just to
is
save face, just to prove that I am not lying to you.
Also, if you heard me squeak there, it's because I read what Loth said.
I know. He's not wrong.
There we
Okay,
go.
there we go.
Yeah,
There we
intensity is
go.
one.
Masterfully done.
I whack the tuning fork again, just like fucking work.
All right, so you have 7 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. That aside, I've come to you to ask a favor and tell you a secret about my house. I did not want to inform our cousins because it would produce some awkwardness in loyalties. But as will become apparent, with you, it is much less likely to cause inner conflict.
Cause you're over the moon, over the Mon twins, a house that we've had very tense relationships. I'm pretty sure we're already going through conflicts of interest at this moment. Quote the physician.
True, but you're the only one who I know has a willingness to stand against the church in any way.
Inos kind of, bobbles. It's like, well, that's not what I would use, but, so be it.
You know me, I am a religious man, but there's something I care more deeply for than my faith, and that is my family. You've noticed, obviously, because you are a master, I believe you've noticed that my sister is not attuned to soulcraft.
Yes, I've seen. She is very well studied in the theories, but is very unversed in the actual application.
It's true. It is because she's been born with an unfortunate blessing, and she has a propensity for dragon sorcery.
Inos just kind of eye narrows.
Yes, miracle working is not unheard of.
So Inos will, mull that over for a second. Look back.
How much lore does Inos have?
None.
Yeah.
It's like, forgive me, cause, but I am not the most well versed in sorceries outside of my own. I know a few things about dragon sorcery, but the thing that usually sticks out to me the most isn't that the domain of the royal family?
Generally, yes. However, and this is merely theoretical, and in some ways can be deemed heretical, we're all technically descended from those of the same bloodline, however distant that may be.
Well,
And
specifically, you may phrase that a better way as all humans are technically
I'll just say men.
descendants of Hydrus.
yes. My
Like I said, Inos was like 2 seconds away from making a smarmy remark.
No, you're correct. I need to check myself. All human are technically descended from the line of Hydrus. And while it is extremely rare for a bloodline to appear, this is the hand my family was dealt. And while some may see it as something to celebrate, something joyous, with this situation of heirship in my house being it is, and me, I look at my arm at this point, being a rather unfit heir at the time, it was a decision made by my parents to hide this fact, so that my sister was not taken to the island. They live on an island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, alright, cuz. Pardon my language, but what the fuck does this have to do with me?
I just want you to keep an eye out in case any of those of the house. God, what's the? It's a. What are the? What are they called? Like the Draconis?
Are you talking about the church?
You mean the
Yes.
Inquisitors?
In case any members of the clergy start poking around. I fucking goddamn it!
Okay, I
I'm
think
gonna
I
put a
think I
pen to
understand
my
this, cuz.
eyes.
But again, why is this necessarily a problem? If she doesn't want to go with the church, then she won't go. And if they try to force the issue, well, guess what? Then the church will have a lot more problems on their hands than one girl. And on top of that, what does your sister want to do? Does she want to become a miracle worker, or does she want to continue her teachings in soulcraft? What are her thoughts on the situation?
What would be her thoughts on the situation?
Oh, bloody.
No,
Well,
I would.
I'm
No,
just saying,
I'm
he's
saying
been
out of
having this
character.
conversation with her probably earlier today.
I
at that
actually,
point.
that was what I was talking to her today at lunch about, is cluing you in.
I mean,
I would have had this conversation.
in the way that Inos phrased it, your sister's not very good at soulcraft. She has a pretty good lore score. I was gonna make a joke and you said earlier, talking about what her skills are. I would say some might say she has, 3 whole dice in it. She does actually have a single die in soulcraft, and speak enough deep speak to cast it, but she's bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
And is not attuned at all. So sorry, this is a thing where like normally I would give information for free, but also I know Nicola's dog shit at empathy, and so it's funny.
God damn it! That's gonna be written on my fucking tomb.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 die in empathy.
Nicola, he was shit at empathy.
But the
Can't
general impression is that your sister feels that it is important to her, since you have abstained, and that is a thing you do, under the king's law and before the gods. It's really hard to undo because otherwise shit gets complicated.
God damn it, Aren.
That like it is her like the personal responsibility to live up to the family and to the decisions you've made to inherit the title. So the aspect where miracle workers are very rare, they are not usually attuned because that is something that only comes from a direct byproduct of the covenant or eating dragon hearts. But you can still just spontaneously manifest the powers. And actually, funny enough, I double-checked in my notes. The way I wrote this in the sorcery section is very rare, but is believed to be a combination of spiritual purity, auspicious birth, and dedicated willpower. So, your sister was had the right, mindset and was born into the right star sign to be able to miracle work, and she's very interested in pursuing that. But if she were to join the Church of the Seven, that is a process that would require her ultimately to, take a number of oaths, one of which would be she has to legally give up all of her titles and inheritance.
Yeah.
Which I think, legally speaking, would probably mean they would have to dig up a like distant cousin right now, or you would have to get the High King and the Pontifex to agree to like reactivate Nicola.
Oh God.
So yeah, so she's interested in like furthering her studies, but also understands that like she's a very mature 16-year-old, understands that like there are expectations on her and her station that she can't like fuck over your parents and you and your liege lord and all that stuff because she thinks it's cool that she can lay on hands.
Well, clearly, we have to make a third option then.
Oh boy. I'm listening. Sorry, that was out of character. Nicola's all down. Nicola is down for the third option.
Third option is
No. The third option is that we is that we find some way to teach her what she needs to know without having to make her take the oaths.
Excellent.
Which may be a little hard. We would have to find someone who's a little, who's willing to bend the rules, but isn't too willing to break them. Actually, that reminds me. So, unfortunately, there's nothing I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now. I have heard the words. I will keep the secret. I will probably talk with your sister later about it to get a better idea of what she wants, because I'm sorry, cuz you're shit at the minds of men.
You are correct.
But, like I said, we already don't necessarily see eye to eye with the church, and neither does the High King. I'm pretty sure he would rather... Well, I can't speak for the king, and, Hydra's above. This is the only time Inos will use Hydra's. Hydra's above. I do not want to put the words into his mouth, but I don't think he would want someone who could potentially do a lot of good from the realm to be sequestered away to the whims of an organization that seems to be fighting him at every turn.
Yes.
That is my understanding. So, we keep quiet about this until we can get back to Teine. Then, we're going to have to go visit the Silver Tower, because there was a prelate over there that interested me, and she might be able to help us out with the situation if I understand her background.
See, this is why I talk to you, is you're an idea person.
Oh yes, I'm an idea person. Doesn't mean they're necessarily good ideas. But it's better an idea than none.
You don't second guess yourself into having no ideas.
Inos shrugs at that. So, your secret is safe. I will guard it as I guard the mysteries of my own lands.
Thank you very much. Now let's go get drinks.
No. You're gonna sit here and tell me why the hell you're learning wind witcherycraft when you're already studying alchemy.
Because I wanted to impress people.
Cuz, I'm gonna be straight with you. You're not going to impress them by doing things that they can already do, or have seen dozens of times. If you want to impress them, you have to show them something that they haven't seen before.
Okay, so I have to work on my project then.
Yes, honestly, I think the Marintuits would be fascinated with what thing you can do with alchemy. I don't know anyone who can produce orichalcum as quickly as you can. And unfortunately, I don't know what other things you can concoct in there, but I do know alchemy has quite a bit.
I do believe you guys have seen Nicola cast the spell called Stone Knives before. He has just made sharp objects out of, like, glass powder and sand before.
Yeah, no, it's like...
And a twig.
Like, we were discussing alchemy with the Real Mouse House earlier. Making fireworks. Great colorful explosions in the sky. Trust me, the Montuans will probably find that way more entertaining than just being able to put up a sound barrier.
You make a good point. I should focus on my own studies.
Very good. Now, let's go get drinks. I am peckish.
Yes.
I would also say, in addition to thinking about Prisca Ecclesia, who is, like I said before, technically Nicola's like second cousin.
Yes.
Was a member of the house before she, took priestly orders. You do know at least that from the section labeled from the Journals of Leofric Logi, dear old Big Dad did know a couple of religious figures as well. There is Friar Tomas, who is from the Order of the Stone Heart. That's a monastic order, so he is not necessarily a priest, but probably knows his way around religion. And that there was actually a
yes, there's the
member of the Verity household.
Yes, the Cygnus.
Yes, Cygnus Lake Convent.
Yes, I was actually gonna see if we can stop by on the way back and
yes, Lady Mercedes Verity.
Mercedes Verity,
who would be to remind everybody about how the political situation in Verity works. She would probably be another one of the current Duke Tellas's older sisters who was basically respectfully joined a convent rather than have a issue of inheritance because Teles is a pure one.
But yes, it'll be good just to learn about that, and we might be able to tactfully inquire about said situation. But to her, I do not think I would like to straight out say it.
No. But you might want to test the water before. Okay.
Test the water, yes.
All right. So you guys then take some time to get some drinks, maybe get some dinner. And I would probably say then, because it was brought up earlier as a matter of chance, since they are going to stay a little bit, I don't know if Inos had any other social plans at the club that evening.
He was hoping to run into Princess Estelle, but no.
Then yes, she would probably return after the dinner hour, but would spend a couple of hours in the club before like late night. So if you do want to like stick around longer for that, I would definitely say that definitely Inos and probably Nicola, again, if he doesn't like immediately fuck off back home, would actually see Konrad when he pops in. Again, we don't have to make a big bonk about it, but
we will do the silent nod at each other.
Yeah.
Nod silently.
You might not know it was Konrad at first because he's not dressed in his usual clothing and is in his new clothing.
Oh, what's your new clothing?
Just very dark, nondescript clothing, long rider coat with high collar, hat on. Of course, you then go and see that figure go into a room and then come out as Konrad.
This would be scrutinized, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to put a mechanical twist on it.
Inos probably doesn't care that much. He can't keep track of everyone going out in and out of the club.
I don't notice that.
But he would be a little startled when he like turns around and comes back, and then Konrad's suddenly here. But not much other than that. Right. But nay, Inos would stay a little bit extra, see if he can catch Princess Estelle, and if he could, would ask to join her, and then maybe start making plans for the after festival garden party social thing.
I'd probably just be like
ice cream Mark II.
Yes, I don't know if it's gonna be ice cream, but who knows? Maybe. But yes,
just be oh god.
But talk about maybe borrowing one of the gardens at the castle. Putting out the invites, getting the catering, maybe a band, set the dress code like actually pretty casual. Make sure that we don't have a bunch of adults a bunch of the older generations hovering around.
That part at least will be easy to arrange.
Somewhere where after all said and done, the young debutantes can actually mingle without the expectations of their houses bearing down on them. Well, at least not as much. But Inos will be discussing with that for maybe an hour while, amenably chatting and whatnot.
Yes. No, you've definitely... and it's good to get probably before the festival because, she probably want to think about where it is because, usually social functions are done at, like, say, the Princess Bianca Gardens, which are, like, right outside the, breakfast room where you guys will do the royal breakfast tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
But those are, kind of, like, not quite publicly accessible, but that's a well-known social function area. So if you did want to kind of, like, set it more distant, she can dig up a different garden or park. There are a few.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, all right, okay.
But that'll be it.
Alrighty. Then as said, anybody else charge up any evening actions?
Not as yet. I have plans for stuff start doing evening stuff after the masquerade and the party. The other party that goes with it, so.
Yeah.
I believe that, yes, Logesh would probably start practicing in front of a mirror how to properly talk passionately.
With passion.
Trying to uncap himself. All right. Okay.
Some stars explode with passion.
Probably still nursing like a few bruises or two from from Rodrigo.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe not going outside right now.
I mean, well, you are engaged now, so you could probably like get at her a little easier. I mean, if you want to just spend time, it doesn't have to be a scene. I do believe that you did want to confirm whether or not she was going to try and go to the Masquerade, Leslok.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Currently, she has no plans to crash. She would probably be going to the little garden party, like where older generations do get to mingle.
I'd rather go spend time at the garden party then, so it's fine.
Okay. Yes, I was going to offer if you did want to try and get her to go to the Masquerade, you could roll something. But if you aren't that concerned about it now, you can just.
No,
make
I'd
plans to
rather
meet up at the
I'd rather
garden
have
party.
a time with her than complicate it a little bit.
No, that's fair. All right. Then we shall roll around to the next day, the next morn. Big morning. All right. Okay, so it was to be, formally announced at the royal breakfast what order you'll be doing all the stees. You already know that the blossoms, dance will be masquerade format, etc. Some of you have prepared masks and things. And so, you guys go to the royal breakfast. Has everybody recovered from any injuries and bunkles?
I never actually. We jokingly said I took damage, but we never said I took any actual
Yeah, no,
damage.
you would not.
So.
It was merely flesh wounds, cosmetic damage. Anything you would have taken, you would probably have healed naturally. So you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the step one is the royal breakfast. Unlike the first time we did this on screen, we don't need to make it a big deal. You know most of the people here. And I no longer feel a need to make a big dramatic show of who shows up in what order. I do guess I want to ask, as a slight role-playing question, how early in the day does Leslok want your party to arrive? When you were here, in the prologue, you were one of the first in because, as Lord Marshal, Leofric wanted to be, nice and early, but you no longer have those exact requirements.
I would recommend we be early, but that decision is ultimately up to you, my lord.
I don't think we'd be the first one there, but we should be among the first few.
Okay, so you make an effort to arrive early.
Yes.
Fair enough.
We don't have to be the earliest.
Yeah, and you probably aren't because you do have a little bit more of a, rabble rouse to get around. But yes, so you arrive. I have previously listed all of the parties from the other, high houses which are here. They show up for introductions. If there was anybody you have not previously had a chance to catch up with, you want to have a moment with, let me know. Otherwise, it's kind of a, just a cycle of introductions. All of your debutantes are formally introduced to the High King, because even though they would have seen him at the oath ceremony,
Konrad would probably at least greet the people that he's been staying correspondence with, and he hasn't met yet in the capital. So,
yep. Of course, darling. Yes, of course you can catch up with your schools.
Mm-hmm. I know it's
She's
only
here.
been like a week or so, but she arrived what, yesterday? Day before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's keeping her flounce and pounceology at a minimum because of official function, but she's still here.
Okay.
I think Logesh would try to, talk, greet, and mingle with. Oh fuck! Hold on. Dramatis Personae, what was the name? Alias and Agave Cheval.
Yep, they're around.
I just saw them yesterday.
Yeah, and generally trying to be polite about everything. Unlike someone who sent them a message saying, "Hey, I'm going to fuck with you."
I did not send him a message saying that. This is a gross mischaracterization of that message.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the text of the message was a lot more polite because I had you roll graces. The way you, Dallas, phrased it was, I believe, a little loosey-goosey. But like I said, that's why I had you roll. That's why you had you roll dice. I think. Well, we have the recordings to prove it, but I think you said at the time it was like, you were gonna like basically phrased it as you were going to take up some of his time at some point in the future and just weren't specific about it. Anyway,
That sounds
yes,
right.
no, you're yeah. No, there's like I said, the you got a plush breakfast room. Lots of breakfast foods of a wide variety are set out. Everybody can eat, catch up, get introduced. You have that moment to catch up with Reese.
Mm-hmm.
No, she'd keep that to herself for now. Yeah, we won't bring that up yet. It's not a private conversation. It's a social conversation.
Reschools does the opposite of secrets.
Yes. But Reschools is smart enough to know that when it's time to shut up, because she would not. Her indoor volume is very high, so she knows when it's better not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't bring that up just now. I'm speaking about the club stuff. I was thinking about having her mention whether or not she's already heard rumors, but no, she won't, because the whole point of a secret club is that it's secret. Duh. She probably makes some. Sorry, I yawned suddenly. She probably makes some polite conversation about, like, oh, darling, did you hear about the Masquerade? How exciting. That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Inos has, can't help himself from, grinning and discussing about it enthusiastically. He won't tell her what he's going to dress up as, but,
Yeah.
Will challenge her, try to find me. And whatnot.
Yeah.
But other than that...
All right. Anybody else? I got any more important social connections they want to make?
Let me check. Hold on. I'm just gonna try and
Like I
see
said,
my
yeah,
list.
it's just kind of a group thing. If there's any brand new NPCs.
You said Yvette and Rowan aren't here, right?
Nope. There is now the young daughter of House, or younger, I should say. She's 15, so she's not like a baby or anything. But there's the young
Babu.
Eglantine.
I'd probably just chill with, probably catch up with House Ech a little bit. Just because I know they just got here yesterday. Right?
Day before, actually.
No,
but...
yeah, day before,
before,
afternoon
yeah.
the day before, but
just catch up with them, and probably just chill out with Paz a little bit as well.
Mhm.
Obviously, occasionally making moon eyes at Aquila and Oster, but
we keep a professional distance. We're polite.
probably gonna keep. Well, it's professional, and also I'm still slightly terrified of the Baroness. Who threatened to kill me 4 times.
Only twice.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I kept count.
You did
No,
not.
I think 2 of the times was just saying that you were going to be spirited away.
That's true. Okay, 2 of them were ambiguous, but there was intent there.
There were definitely a couple of times where she was like,
They won't find
if
you.
it wouldn't cause me a conflict, I would challenge you to a duel right now.
Look, Nicola
But
may
yes,
have
okay.
a low empathy score, but he has a high intelligence score.
Yes. Logical. All right. Okay.
Swamp on a wise.
Yes, as they say. I'm going to be right back again.
Oh.
After that, we will probably move on from the royal breakfast. Actually, before I go, just to leave everyone with a slight simmer. At the end of the royal breakfast, the king would announce what today's order of events are, as directed to him by the Lord Chamberlain. Step 1, poetry at the Royal Gallery. It's going to be overseen by the Lady Magister and the High King. It's going to be a break for luncheon. And then starting off very strong this year, we're immediately after lunch moving into the highly anticipated fencing tournament, as overseen by the Lord Chancellor and Lord Marshal. And then after that, we'll take some time to relax and go down to the Royal Archives for the heraldry test. So technically, all of these events have been in previous years, and you guys have participated in them. So you're no guarantee that you need to be there. But just letting you know.
I technically didn't participate in one of them.
Well, you had an opportunity anyway.
That's true, and I'm also not gonna do it again.
Well, you can't anymore. You're too old. Haha.
True.
You missed your chance to fence. Anyway, I will be right back now. Recording
Oh
pause.
no, I missed my chance to lose at fencing.
Okay, if Omega's gonna be right back, I'm
You
gonna
could-
take a moment. Oh,
Yes,
is
go for it.
recording paused?
Alrighty. So actually, I don't know if it would be at breakfast exactly, because I don't think we'd want to make a big deal out of it. But around the time of the real breakfast, actually, with the acquiescence of Leslok. And actually, shit, did I do that little movement trick on my own document? No. Okay. Hold on. Let me scooch that as well. Probably you would, be formally introduced with young Miss Bralia Blaka, who is, it lists in her Dramatis Personae profile, she is, an apprentice draftswoman, Squire of the Order of Twin Spears. So, she is a apprentice in drafting, ship designs, architecture, engineering, that kind of thing. Probably kind of like, you've met her cousin, Dougie. I almost just called him Doug, but we'll be respectful and say his full name. They're kind of similar looking. Like, you can see some of the way in, like, the face and skin tone that, like, yeah, they're probably related. Her hair is brown. I'm kind of imagining it not like what you would call, like, twin tails necessarily, but, probably is, like, pulled back and split into a couple of tails. Not just one ponytail. Kind of medium to pale skin. Kind of dark blue eyes. Relatively average height and build, She's not like wearing spectacles or anything that looks bookish, but, she is, like I said, formally introduced to the crew. It gives everybody an appropriate, a pleasure to meet you, but, it probably sticks closely with Lucy. It's obvious that they, have met before because there was, working on arranging this, marriage between their houses. But she does have some skills in the future with shipbuilderry, so, we'll watch your career with great interest.
In the Navy.
And I don't have her block formalized. I think I meant to do that earlier, but I had to clean and organize some stuff. Probably why it's so heckin' hot in here. Or I feel hot because I had to, root in all the corners and throw around all the dust. But theoretically, she may make another additional member of your team for the melee if we get that far. her skill is with drafting, but she is a squire, so she has received basic military training.
Okay.
And so young Miss young Miss Blake will be hanging around. If you guys do have any questions for her, but again, we don't need to make too big of a deal of it because she doesn't know you guys very well, so she's probably not going to be like running around asking all of you questions. You've got like stuff to do. So, back to not actually speed running, but kind of speed running the events. Poetry. Any of you guys care about looking at that?
Is my sister participating?
Probably. Let me check. I don't think she's especially talented in that area.
I'd probably go just to be supportive if she's participating.
Yeah, she'll probably take a crack at it.
I think in the prologue. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think the prologue, Logesh gave an attempt, so I think he'd show up again. Like for the past few
See
years,
how
he would have
people
gone to, yeah.
Inos has probably competed a couple times, so he will probably not this year.
Right. Not even to observe.
Yes, I will observe though.
Okay.
Konrad will be there to observe, and
Right.
hopefully spend some time with Rena.
Yeah, she'll be observing as well because she's past her time period, but her sister will definitely be taking a crack at it.
I'll be there reserve.
All right. Okay.
I'll be there to cheer on the people I know that are going to be there.
Yes.
But,
So yeah, so you guys aren't ducking out, so we can accurately describe it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was not a yawn. That was a deep energy breath. That was a yawn. Why am I yawning all of a sudden? I've only been here like an hour and a half. All right, okay. Yes. Poetry is mostly going to be in language. The favored person here, you keep your ears to the ground is probably, as, I mentioned, because Konrad said he's going to, hang out with Rena a little bit. Her sister Aelith is actually probably favored because, their family does a lot of artistic inspiration, and her sister is very good there. But you have heard that Felicia Quatrefoil has been practicing. So I'll do my old trick just to see what's up. Let's roll for the general group. Nothing. Also nothing. 9 high.
I was 10 high, so
Yeah, it doesn't actually mean anything.
yeah. Just brings back memories.
Alestra, this is your chance. Channel the spirit of me and Logesh.
I mean, I could have her specifically roll her pool. It would not be super great. But if we are accounting it that way, technically this is language.
I imagine it's
using a charm
3.
skill. So
But
everybody does get a master die in this. So we could say that if we do it that way, then somebody would get 10s. But I'm rolling like group threat dice. I can check, but yeah, you are correct. She's gonna roll her 3 knowledge, and she doesn't have any extra dice in language. Yeah, so the best you can do is a 3
Dad.
set. No, she'd still have a master die, like I said, because it's language. But that just means that she gets a set of 3s. So yeah, no. I don't want to say it's a disappointing performance, because like I said,
It's an uninspired performance.
Yes, we're doing. I said before, this would be language or certain charm skills with like a minimum difficulty. Everybody who actually like attends and performs can like put together a poem that fits one of the classical formats. It has the right rhyme scheme, it has the right illusions, but nobody really breaks out with anything weird. If you guys will recall from your prologue, the poetry competition was full of weird stuff.
Yeah, I think I rolled a plead.
Yeah, something like that. I think you went with a social skill. I can't remember. I think Leslok actually won with his use of like cauldron style poetry.
I think it was that, or I got really close because I think it was like pretty like up there.
Yeah, you were definitely one of the higher scores, and I do think you may actually have won. I cannot recall it.
No, Rena Martlet definitely won because she rolled like a ridiculous number of successes. And we said she composed like a 5-stanza poem.
That may be true. Yes, so you
She made,
probably
like, an
came up with,
epic,
a
yeah.
runner-up. Yeah, no. Aleph Martlet, not that good. She's still very good at what she does, but not out there to win. Do I want to say? I mean, I'll say for the sake because it did get the 10 high, even though that does not actually matter. We'll be nice to young Miss Quatrefoil, who's like this is going to be her last run at it. She actually gets the prize awarded. No, that's my wrong run. All right. So then you guys take a lunch break. And then after lunch will be the fencing tournament.
I'm assuming Aurelia is raring to go in this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will observe to cheer on my students.
Here
I
is
made
also
a
gonna be
mission.
entering.
I made a mission to ensure that she'd be doing well, so I'm gonna be for all of her things she's attending.
Okay.
I will observe as well. I can't disappoint family. I was gonna try and go bug Alias, but I'll bug him tomorrow.
Fair enough. Comrade, I assume you're gonna go to watch at least.
Yeah. Watching is always the hardest part.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you could still enter, but
Nah.
I'm pretty sure you've been in this thing like three years in a row.
Yeah.
So
A mysterious
we'll let-
masked man appears.
no, Warkman will not make a debut at the fencing tournament. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, no. Sorry, in case it wasn't obvious enough, Logesh will definitely attend.
Yeah, you'll watch. Yes. Especially because concerning some of your other issues, you guys form up with a block. Moira actually comes as well to observe. She is your fencing master. She probably is able to point out this one's going to be much more interesting. So the favorite this year is going to be, finally, not finally because she's been old enough in a few, but like actually coming into her own. It's Paloma Espada is the favored. She is of that house, and she's been, training as a blood shield. And I was going to say that unless that conflicts with something else, that let me double check the ages are correct for this, but I want to say that yeah, Inara is 20. Okay, so last year would have been her last year, and she did take home in the win that year. So we're following in footsteps. But there are a handful of people who are pretty well out there. I mentioned before, similarly out of House Espada's lands, there is Magon Escuchan. Vachlin Rearmouse is going to show up. Clavel Ghouls is going to show up. Honestly, people are probably like out of your house, even though he is, the youngest of your crew. People are actually probably a little interested to see how Huron's going to do because, you guys have some history behind your belt.
Yeah.
Logesh kind of came out of nowhere that first year, and Konrad's been in several years, so like you guys are respectable. You're getting your juice back.
I'm guessing
Aurelia-
Lester is also on the stands with me.
Yes, Alestra's not participating. Thurin's probably participating, but he's not going to go very far. He's a very middle of the road fencer. But yeah, Aurelia will enter, but does it's in my notes. She's been practicing with short swords for like a couple of days tops, so we're not expecting her to do well, but she'll try.
Now I want her to win because it's funny.
Well, I'll roll her pool and see how crazy she is. I actually can roll specific pools for a lot of characters for this. If you guys don't mind watching me roll lots of dice.
Nah,
Roll your
it's
dice.
fun.
All right. Well, we will still
Swing
do
away,
a
Johnny.
generic pool.
The generics do not do well.
So kind of mid. All right. Let's have Aurelia take a crack. She can't use Heart-Seeking Blade.
Damn.
Sag.
Yeah. I mean, she,
Should
you know, if we're going by our usual logic, she's a little bit of a cut above the rest, but probably only, like, wins a match or two tops.
She's too used to using daggers.
I technically probably should have given her a bonus for her mission die in there, but it well, I'll roll more in.
Won the match. She got
Okay,
5s.
fives, yeah. So
Five.
middle of the road. All right.
Now we just need everyone else to be mid.
Well, I'm gonna roll for Huron, and I'm gonna give him a die for his mission.
5s as well.
Also 5.
2 5s.
So yeah, Huron also makes a respectable effort. And this is the part where I'm gonna fucking destroy everyone, because let's figure out how many dice we've got.
Paloma
under
Espada
Paloma's
has.
Okay, yeah. So, would this count for her passions? Yes, probably. So we're gonna roll this. Yep. No, and here's the funny part. She has a master die already, so that's 3 9s.
Yep.
Damn.
So yeah,
Espada gonna espada.
they do indeed spada. So yeah, no. As expected, like I said, Aurelia and Huron do nice middle of the pack. They're both, you know, young, and as we said, Aurelia's definitely going to the Logesh school of trying to win the fencing tournament, where she basically just knows which end of the sword to hold, but she has a lot of spirit.
Hey, sometimes that's enough.
Hey, like top.
Well, like I said,
hey,
she got a match, so she at least, you know, bounces out a couple of people who probably should not be in this fencing tournament.
probably made it to like top 5 something.
Maybe not top 5. There's a lot of kids with swords, but like I said, she would have won at least a couple of matches. Same with Huron, but he's also, you know, 15, so he's just getting started. You know, Moira's kind of, you know, nodding along, making observations, you know, seeing the gaps where she needs to work on her training, but to no one's real surprise, but definitely to their kind of like, you know, expectation. Paloma Espada is really good at what she does. She fights with the Southern style, you know, rapier in one hand, dagger in the other, and, you know, doesn't necessarily school everyone who fights her, but is, like, incredibly talented and, like, very for, like, not just for dueling, but she has, like, very for real serious fencing training because, again, she is technically well, because of, you know, particular relationships, but she's technically a Blood Shield, you know, officer. Like, she's a member of the Royal Guard. So, got some real edge there. So, you know, you obviously can get together and congratulate, you know, the winners and losers, commiserate. Nobody gets too banged up. Definitely at some point, either during the tournament or immediately after, I think that, you know, while you guys are all grouped up again, because God knows Moira was not going to go sit at the poetry competition and observe, she does probably bring up to you and some of your young hopefuls that, so, what on street is, they're bringing back the Grand Melee. Seen guys bringing in lots of stuff in and out of the old fort.
What?
Yeah. That's why fencing's so early this year. Usually they leave it later. It's very anticipated. We're going to have a melee.
Melee! Sorry.
No, you got to say Super Smash Brothers first.
I don't think I could do it the justice.
Super Smash Cousins Melee. I don't know.
No smashing cousins.
Yeah, that's a different royal sport.
But yeah, so, yeah.
So it's okay to smash bros, but not smash cousins. I see how it is.
You gotta have your bros back.
Moira kind of gives Leslok a pointed look. You don't have to say nothing, boss. Just, hearing things, thinking things.
I'm not allowed to say.
Course you ain't. Course you ain't. But just, if it gets announced, hypothetically, you might want to be thinking about that.
Of course.
Right.
Just take some time to prepare. The young mistress, she's pretty all right at it for just taking a couple days hack at it. If we get some time tomorrow, or the day after, I can probably sharpen that up a little. But it's not just going to be about one individual competitor. Melee's a team sport, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Got to fight together as a unit. If anyone's interested in how those sort of things go, I'm sure there's some literature somewhere about the rules, but I could always keep an ear out again.
Omega, I don't know how to word this for Leslok, but I want him to, I guess, insinuate that if she puts in, I guess, the setup, she starts putting in the setup, it wouldn't be untoward. But
Well, she's already putting in the setup. It's like
Yeah.
the question is like, if you wanted to figure out ahead of time what the rules are like.
I'd like to know what the rules are at least.
All right. We'll have a gander. She just kind of nod her head back at the field, as people are, cleaning up and the matches are going on. Well, I say keep an eye on that though. Some of them's going to be your competition, and some of them will be using swords, even if they're blunted. But that's the other thing about a melee. Get your pick of weapons, so I have a few other things to worry about.
A gun.
No, actually, that's directly
Really
against the rules.
Sure, we can't do that.
You
That
can't
was
really
an
blunt a gun.
out-of-character joke.
Well, too bad for you then. Moira Dejan leaps through time and stabs Loth in real life.
Bully free. Ah! Please, I need my coffee still.
That's why
No,
he's
well-
making all these out-of-character jokes. Yes, okay.
Moira steals the coffee.
Oh, okay, now I murder her.
I don't think you'd win that fight.
No, I'd lose.
Okay, but yeah, I think she was going to make some joke about not sticking around for heraldry, but yeah, the heraldry test is done at the Royal Archives at the behest of the Royal Librarian. It, involves looking at, obscure, well, not obscure and also obscure titles, names, mottos, etc., matching them up, figuring out, borders, etc. Yeah, I gotta figure that one from Konrad.
I
would
think
anyone
I'm
else
actually
be looking
participating in this one.
You can if you want. I don't. Did you win last time?
No,
This would
I
be
didn't.
Lore, so.
I'm way better at lore now.
All right.
I don't think I won at it. No, because I think I got like third
Makes sense.
because I didn't get a win until like marksmanship.
All right. Nope, that's the wrong list of people I'm looking for comments for. All right. Well, then the favorite is probably you if you're actually going to get in there.
I think I said I was going to attend like the more actual like scholarly
That's fair.
ones.
Hey, guess what? Who in my notes the favorite after you would be?
The Kefis.
No.
No. Of course.
Kevin has already, I think, locked this in. No, he's probably not. I mean, actually, because you're participating, he will probably show up. I just hang out. But I'm pretty sure he won in the year if you didn't win,
He did.
because he's got a pretty mean streak. So he has no need. He has nothing to prove. Least of all, at least with this anyway, to his dad. So he's probably there to like observe. But no, the number 2 of the list after, like the person I put in my notes as respected favorite is your sister Aurelia Logi. People generally assume that she's probably going to clock it since Kefis Verity is not.
Okay, here's the dumb thing now. I have a okay, because this is my mission. How do I make it so that she actually does better than me? Can I
Well,
give her...
if you roll your lore, you will lose a die because it's counter to your mission.
Yes, so
Just don't
I would
participate.
say if you
yeah,
get...
to help her win, don't participate.
fair.
Yeah, that's the easiest, is to just
But
knock
can I like
off.
can I give her some tips before the cup?
Do you want to cheat? I'm very confused.
I mean, I mean, he's not saying cheating, but like you can. Do you have enough time actually? I don't know if you have enough time to like do a flashcards. These things are supposed to be relatively close together.
Fair enough.
It would not be against the rules to test, like to double check with her, but I don't think you've got enough time for that.
Okay.
So I mean, like if you want to aim to like fulfill your mission, you would take a counterman to actually get in there yourself. But
Then I won't actually. If anything, I was probably just trying to encourage her then, like remind her of a few things.
oh well, guess what? With her own mission.
I wish I could give her a help die here.
I mean, I want to say she doesn't need no stinking help die, but also the dice are mean. But the odds of getting a straight on 8d10 are astronomical. Four twos.
And the one.
Fastest alive. Anybody else going to check out heraldry?
Oh,
Nope.
Nope.
Wait, is my sister participating?
I mean, yeah.
Then yes, I will observe
I think
and
that she
and
would,
cheer.
would be there. She got a good shot at this.
Once again,
Her
I
lore's
think
okay.
Logesh would, actually.
Yeah, her lore's like 6, so
Konrad is now busy thinking about the Grand Melee.
yeah.
The what?
No, actually, shit. That's with a Lesser with 6 9s. That's a higher. That's a much higher height.
I guess it depends on like if the width matters here.
No, I do not think this would actually be a speed thing. Like
Hmm.
I think Aurelia's got some room to like gobble some dice, but she does only have like a couple of matches, and some other people are pretty good. And like I said, Lestra actually rolled very strongly with 9s. I think it makes sense. In my notes, it even says why Aurelia is favored. She's got a very broad base of knowledge. Like she actually has some, very esoteric groupings of stuff. Very well read on some obscure things, but Alestra does have access to the Silver Tower, so a lot more static basis of knowledge.
Damn. I guess it's not a trivia contest. It's more like a written exam.
I mean, I don't think it's written per se, but it's not like a pub quiz. You know, the Royal Librarian will probably has an assemblage of like papers and stuff to pull up and be like, okay, what's this sigil? What's this sigil's? Who's the sigil for? What's their motto? What are their colors? On this map, where do the borders of that house lie? That kind of stuff. Kind of a comprehensive test of your general history of the houses. But yeah, it was an interesting
Nice.
one.
So Lester won?
Yeah.
I will congratulate her. And Aurelia for doing. I assume she comes in second at least.
Probably with multiple sets, yes.
Yeah.
Aurelia, takes the congratulations, but she's a little not pensive, ponderous of thinking about like where she could have done better.
Embrace your inner nerd.
He already has a pool of 8.
Well, one of those was from her mission, but yeah, she rolls.
Nerd
7.
is
That
a
was not
lifestyle. Nerd is not a skill, it is a lifestyle.
normal. I'm sorry, she's much too busy being goth.
I know, she's too goth and cool to be a true nerd.
She's gonna throw knives at people. Anyway. At some point prior to the masquerade, I assume, Inos did want to have a meeting at Cheval.
yes.
So your chance is probably like now or never, bud.
He'll take it. He'll dress up nicely, grab his writs, and make his way over to the Cheval estate.
All right. Have people been to the Cheval estate before? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think so.
So the compound for House Cheval in the city is again very different, distinct architecture from Torchlight Hall. It's not quite the warm, open, summery style of like Oro or House Espada has like a mini fort with nice thick brick walls to kind of like be secure, but also to keep heat out and cool in, or the other if needed. But Cheval is probably like lots of green space, very simple like wooden fences kind of bordering it in, the kind that in an emergency a horse could jump over. Probably have like a very sizable like stable on their lands, big open spaces. The building itself is probably kind of long and hall shaped, kind of like medium tilt, like all weather roof, lots of wood and timbers. Probably got some thatching in there because there's a lot of straw and hay and stuff in the grass seat.
Mm-hmm.
But got kind of an open, airy place, and yeah, you're led in by some liveried servants, and you arrange the meeting, I believe, with good old master. What's wrong? House I clicked. Geralf, the Mister of House Cheval,
Yes.
commander of the First Spears. I mean, you would have had a chance to be introduced to him at breakfast, but we did not describe him there because we weren't like
Like I said, we're
doing
going to be discussing business. That's not something that we do at the royal breakfast.
Yeah. So to describe him, Lady Cheval's husband, formerly of House Lancet, he is a older gentleman, though a few years younger than her, but he's well into his middle age. He's got the bearing and kind of grizzled demeanor of a not just a noble son, but a career military officer.
Mm-hmm.
Close cropped hair, fits under a helmet. Definitely getting some gray at his temples. A little bit of a leathery, weather beaten face. Lots of scars and scabs and stuff. Clean shaven. Probably kind of dark brown hair, hazel colored eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when you come in and the pleasantries, he kind of not at like parade rest, but like kind of does stand at attention. Classic arms clasped behind back look.
Mm-hmm.
Back straight, shoulders square, feet perfectly spaced apart. But he is polite to be like, "All right, lads, have a seat. Come sit."
Mm-hmm. Inos will do so. He will not flop this time, though.
Yeah. You sit at a probably a very sturdy, solid rounded wooden table that's again very weathered and practical. When you actually sit down, he does kind of like relax his posture a little and be like, "Well, it's still afternoon, lad, but would you prefer tea or perhaps something stronger?"
Dire tea.
No, he will I'll just take tea. Inos will say, "Tea, please."
That's fair. Still early in the day. Just kind of like barks out, to somewhere. Tea. And shortly a servant appears with the tea tray.
Oh, great, what?
You have to port yourself, lad.
No.
I drink my tea straight.
Mm-hmm. Inos will, of course, just serve himself some tea.
Yeah. All right then. Well, You've come seeking the ear of House Chevron, and my lady wife is a busy lady, but I'm sure your lordship is as well. So, what do you have to discuss, lad?
Do I actually want to roleplay this out, or do I want to keep it brief? How much more do we got planned out? How far out do you have planned out today, Mega?
Oh, like I said, my notes can go as far as the start of the melee, so we don't have to hold back. But also, we're only at 2 hours, so we don't need to like speed either.
Okay. It's like, sorry, I'm trying to get in my Inos space at the moment.
Yep, the right headspace.
Mm-hmm. Inos, kind of leans back and with a sigh is like, well, it's just a simple matter of purchasing, my lord. He will show the writ from the good Marquess and says like, I have here a writ from the Marquess of Logi stipulating that I am allowed to make purchases on his behalf in regards to such things as foodstuffs and agriculture. I'm pretty sure it's been going around in some circles that some areas are been a bit more lean than others, and we may have a bit of a food excuse me, may have a bit of a food crisis on our hands. So we're looking to purchase grains and other such things in advance of the harvest season to make sure that our own food stores are stocked up for the coming winter, just in case our own yields are not up to stuff.
Well, Rusty is a bit of a breadbasket, as they say. Normally, for such matters, approaching the master of the roads would be simple enough, but, he kind of eyes you up and down. I've heard you have a touch for the personal. Well, then, I would reckon on how much you'd be needing.
Enos here would probably would have come prepared with his knowledge about how much food we would need in case.
Well, yeah. So is the and he would probably bring this up, and I won't roleplay it out. Is your idea to like strike a deal to exchange for grain, or for food, I should say, in general, now or later? Because they would have access to, they produce an excess of food normally in the grass sea, so they would have, stockpiles from their own winter left over that they could, go into for trade. That's what you would do in a non-lean season.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get, food right now, or you could strike a deal to like, start pre-buying this year's harvest, like arrange for fresh grains, vegetables, etc.
I'm definitely going for the pre-buy. Basically, like to buy grains and stuff before it's harvested.
Yeah, and it wouldn't necessarily be the same as like the concept of futures trading now, but that is definitely a thing that could be like arranged. Of like, all right, we're gonna commit so much. Let me need to find the company qualities chart. Because let's see, you guys are territory 3. Let me see what that actually says. Because straight up, without any rolls, acquisition of foodstuffs for large populations of people can get quite expensive. God, that's right. This isn't alphabetical. That's why I'm like confused. Where the fuck is territory? Okay. Yeah, very small country, a fair-sized region. So, like, for example, it says like even if it's crappy food, buying enough food to feed like 3,000 soldiers for a month is like treasure 5.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you guys are not necessarily like looking for like military rations, right? You know, you're thinking of like reserves of simpler, more straightforward grains, vegetables, that sort of, staple foods, staple crops. Not necessarily going to like fill out enough for, like I said, that soldiers can get, 3 square meals to march on a day kind of shit, but good food reserves. So, but still, you're probably talking about technically feeding more than 3,000 people. We have not really done like population number crunching, but you guys are territory 3, like that says, a large city or a small country equivalent. So like, if you want to be prepared to feed everybody, even in just lands directly under House Logi's banners, not accounting for your bannermen, that's probably going to be a purchase that would be still in the treasure 5 range, and it will because you're pre-buying the good stuff, the fresh harvest, it would stay there. So if you want to try and work on that, well, first of all, that's more treasure than you guys have, so I would need you to roll probably treasure plus influence. I don't know what that roll is for normally, but I think that would make the most sense for a purchasing power. To see if you guys can like raise the capital to buy it anyway, but also if you want to try and lower the amount of treasure recalled, Inos probably needs to make a haggle roll or something.
I will make a haggle roll.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about arranging a deal that you're going to buy pre is you don't technically have to give the money until the crops are ready to be delivered.
Yes.
By then, we might have more money.
Okay, so what is
goals? But also remember, New Year next year, you have to pay House Oro 1 point of treasure back, or else.
Wait, what's my haggle? Hang on 1 second. I have haggle. I know I do. I just don't remember the number of haggle I have.
And it's under your command. Command plus
yes.
haggle.
Okay. And this is for... Yeah, this is to protect. This is not necessarily with my craving. It's like, this is food ain't for me. So...
8s. Lots of 8s. Jesus.
4 8s. Jesus.
That's a lot of width. Okay. You aggressively negotiate.
Yes.
And, do a combination of good economic sense and also just appealing to a better nature. While Master Geralf is, like I said, he's a hard, man on the outside. He's also been like I said, a career soldier. So, you talk up like winter shortages, and he's like, eventually, raise his hand. All right. All right. You've got me. I'll bring it to her ladyship, and I'm sure we can finalize the deal. But a contract can be written to exchange your funds for our grain in the harvest season after the king's tax is calculated both ways. So you don't have to pay sales tax.
Yay.
The most important outcome.
I understand, you've got a lot of mouths to feed. We're not unsympathetic. We can charge, basically you can like run him down to like for your share of the grain, almost at cost. So I will actually give you because like I said, you got a lot of width. We'll say that he talks it down to a treasure 3.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we can do. We have loan.
So yes, I think if treasure works the way wealth is, I believe that means that if you make the roll, you don't go down. If you're at, but you still have to make a roll.
Yes, probably. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So we'd have to make the influence plus treasure roll. Did we use influence?
I think you've been refreshed anyway.
Okay.
Because you did that at the start of the month, and it's been like several days after, like 2.5 weeks, week and a half.
Shit.
No,
I'm sorry. If I known we had to make a company roll for this, I probably would have tried to do some more groundwork so we can get more bonuses.
I mean, you've had some time to prep. We've had a lot of nothing gaps.
Well, we already got a
You
loan
already
for
have
treasury,
the loan.
so I would need to boost influence.
Yes. Also, I don't think you want to do either of the other two things to temporarily raise treasure.
No, probably not. No,
You don't want to issue bonds, and you don't want to threaten House Cheval.
I am not going to threaten House Revolt. No,
Especially
Yeah,
because that means you roll just might.
Seems
we
like
have
a bad
might 1
idea
here
all
right
around.
now.
Yeah.
I need to. Can someone pull up the influence
I'm
things?
looking at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Impress the gentry. Charming suave foreign dignitaries. Give you some pull with them. Bluff. Create a convincing illusion of wealth, prestige, or force. You can also threaten.
I'm not
or-
gonna threaten.
You can promise. You can offer them something else in return. Because this is all. Well, I just for the sake of clarity and knowledge, I want you to make the roll now. But you don't actually owe anything until harvest would be what, mid autumn?
Yeah. So what what do you mean by we don't owe him? We're gonna promise to pay him on time?
Well, no, like I said, the gold is not physically leaving you until the later month. So you could like I said, make promises in exchange of other stuff you will offer them to get that temporary influence bonus.
Oh, let's see. What would Cheval want from us? We got steel,
iron, powder, and shot.
Does Cheval really need demon powder though?
I mean, yes, no, they have cavaliers and dragoons.
Oh, that's true.
They are pioneering the art of mounted gunmen, carbineers.
Yeah, if we can probably I don't think we should sell them straight up guns, but if they want to get some, we can give them some base of steel and some demon powder. I can promise them a.
Offset the cost by 1 wealth.
Well, I'm trying to think of what's the increment in how I would offer it.
It would probably be by weight, because basically what you're saying is you're throwing a cherry on top of and not only obviously are we willing to pay money for this, but also I'm willing to pay a portion of the price in steel or demon fire.
Yes. Well, actually, we can probably negotiate that on in intangibles as well. That'll probably be something that comes out in the Harsh Ash negotiations.
Yeah.
So, would I have to roll for that to make that?
No, you've already rolled your haggle. You've come up with a good promise. I can say that's good enough for your influence bonus die.
Okay. So that's an influence there, and I got my.
So currently you are treasure 3, influence 2, and you've got a temporary raise on influence for this roll.
And does fuck up. What are they called again? Your mission duty cravings. What are those?
Passions.
Passions. Those passions apply.
Do passions apply to company rolls? Hold on, let me go to what companies do.
Might depend on who's rolling them.
10 governed by 2 qualities into a single pool. No, I do not believe they are.
Okay.
Probably where your passions come in is, like we said, in those rolls you can do to set stuff up, get bonuses.
Makes sense.
Actually, let me. Where is that? There's the bonus chart.
Like I said, if I had more time to actually think about this, maybe seed some rumors, talk up some more of House Cheval, give a more positive impression of me. I could have done something, but that actually takes.
I do actually want to say, like I said, because your haggle was real good. You obviously negotiated down the price, but that was a work. We can count that as an outstanding success for like plus 2D.
Oh, okay.
It was 4/8. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, it was a very strong set. Like, there's a whole like transitional chart. Like, you would have had to had a lot more forethought to get the ones where you get temporary like master dice to rolls. But...
Yeah. So like my haggle gives me a +2 on this total, and then my influence gives me another +1. Okay. Just making sure. Okay, so that will give us. Doesn't that give us 9? No, wait, no, 8. 8. Okay.
And failure doesn't necessarily mean you can't secure the deal. It just may mean that, stuff be happening.
Stuff be happening. All right. So give me 1 second here.
Also, it does say, by the way, if you wanted to, you could remove your influence or treasure dice from the equation to save them for purposes of future company rolls.
Yeah, but then we'd have
sets
like
your dice back. Yeah.
'Cause 8d10.
3 6s.
Yeah, 3
3
6s.
6s. Nice.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you do not. You are, because you used them, temporarily dinged on your influence and treasure, but your treasure does not actually permanently decrease currently.
Okay.
So you can. Basically, this roll is to see if during the like contract writing phase and figuring this out, like you, Inos, like. And probably the actual result of this will happen over a couple of days. We just don't need to, wait a couple of days to get it solved. But you probably get back with your ministers. You probably brief Leslok. He talks with Lady Cheval and stuff like that when you get this finalized. And basically, this success means that your courtiers, bankers, merchants, etc., have found space in the budget to make this purchase.
Yay!
At this time with these materials. So yes, you have secured a reasonable chunk for at least a 1 month's buffer worth of food for like most of your population of Teine. If you only need to supplement a little bit, you can probably make that go longer.
That's what I'm probably thinking. We're gonna. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but yes, I wasn't. I'm not gonna give them, give people, here, just have a month worth of food. No, if we do actually have to do this, we're gonna dole this out and make it fucking stretch.
Yeah, but to say, like, you can ration it to make it go longer.
Yes.
And hypothetically, if you needed it for that many, you could, for a shorter period, ration a whole ass army as well. But that would, that's not the intention. It's just that's the scale we're talking about here.
Mm.
So you have put in an order for a strategic resource of food for later. All right, good.
We can prevent starvation. At least.
Yes, that will probably they will not starve with this food supply. And I will go ahead and I will mark on my sheet my notes that your influence and treasure are bingled for now.
Thank you.
So you are really going to want to make sure if you're going to, especially because your influence is only 2 normally anyway, if you're going to want to use those while you're here in the capital, you're going to want to do some prep work. Both for temporary raises and also to just think of things that do stuff.
Would the deal?
I know that's vague, but
any deals with Baron Aura also be wealth influence rolls?
I mean, if they're for the benefit
you probably
of
don't
the
actually have to
realm,
roll the
yes.
company actions to like figure out the trade agreement.
Okay.
That would be between you and him. That may affect your future company rolls, but no, I don't think you'd actually have to roll those directly for those. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good work.
Gorgeous work.
That means it's probably Masquerade time.
Yay!
All right. So we're technically splitting up the group a little bit here. As Leslok is going to go to the Princess Bianca Memorial Gardens to, be in a nice garden party. Honestly, I can tell you right now, probably not a whole hell of a lot of stuff is going to be in there, but, you're going to go there and kind of make it a date with Nerissa. So you get to hang out with her, more, probably even more than you did briefly the other day, the King Council day, because you only had so much time in your day to clock out from there. Konrad is going to go on a theatre date.
There's one thing I would want to bring up. It might
Yes.
be that we at least briefly show up at the garden party and like kind of let our plans be known, so it's not like, oh, they're just like suddenly missing all alone together. Ooh.
Yeah, no, you publicly announce your plans. That seems fair, yes.
We'd love to say in chat, but we've got a date.
Yes. Also, I'm presuming Logesh is going to scooch to the garden party as well because Leslok is there.
Yes, I will. Unless needed to, I will make sure that he is kept safe.
No, it's good. Makes sense to go with him. And we will, like I said, touch on a couple of things there. But for Konrad, Ren is not 100% decided on which performance. There's a couple of different groups. There's lots of social events happening during the festival. So, she'll ask you about your input. You can aim for a more of a comedic play, one which would even include masquerade elements. More of a bit of like a series of vignettes to make jokes and provide a little bit of social satire, known as 12 Masks. A pretty common format in this, cultural period. The other one is something more what we would call a melodrama, a, sensationalized plot, has, add some extra stage effects, some stage fighting, incidental music. A lot of actual classic melodramas, like, include, like, natural disasters in the plot so they can do more SFX. It's very funny. This one is called Mystery's Tale. It's a story of love, revenge, and mistaken identity where gentlemen cavaliers return from a fictitious war and find them embroiled in both tragic and comedic circumstances. So,
Probably the second one.
yeah, I kind of figured, but, Conrad may also be like, no thinky, laugh now.
Well,
It's not that thick-headed.
they both sound interesting. I think the comedy would probably give like Rena and Konrad more time to like actually talk and chat together, but I think the actual performance of the second one would be more interesting. So,
oh yes, no, like I said, it's the Mystery's Tale is a melodrama. So like there's like there are fights on stage. There are like they will actually get live animals involved on stage if they need them. Like they'll pull up horses on stage if they have to, kind of a thing. Like and it's got a lot more themes. So yeah, you experience that one. Takes a decent chunk of your time. Probably means that it's a like you said, probably not as much like back and forth conversation. Which it's a theater date, so you want to be careful anyway. Don't want to go to the special hell. But also, it's probably a slightly more enjoyable time because it's like, really gripping dramatic stuff.
assuming there's acts, I'm sure that we have time to converse about about it between the acts and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's probably broken up in a structure that's like that. There would be, even if there's not like an act break, there's probably like an intermission and stuff planned. They need to stretch their legs, drink some water. They need to do whatever. Like I said, I when reading about like era appropriate, theater and playwrights, I was like, I don't know what the fuck you do to simulate an earthquake on the stage, other than maybe just the actors like jumble around. But like, they probably need some setup time after that one.
have some low deep drums in the background.
Yeah. And yes, this is that's another thing about like the invention of the melodrama style. It's like they actually like play chamber music to go with it. Not a full orchestra, but there's a little music pit and they do instrumentation to like set the mood. But it's not sung like an opera. I did also have a pause there, but I was like, no, acts. Got it. So the primary thing then is a masker blasker. First of all, one of you is technically sneakaping in. So, Nicola, I need you to roll whatever's better for you, lie or stealth.
That would be stealth.
Because you are masked up, do add a bonus die.
I also need to check something. We're done.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Enos, you don't
What's
have
up?
to lie. You're supposed to be there.
If you can, help Aurelia be bold. At least I
I
feel like
don't think I need.
I don't think Aurelia needs help to be bold.
fair enough.
Yeah, Aurelia rocking a dark beaked mask, dark costume.
I
That's
would have
extra
put in some
feathers.
time to bedazzle these masks a little bit with some jewels and.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Sorry, I forgot the name of the document.
And for purposes, if you want to, because people are masked, if you want to recognize them, I in my notes, I am nice. It says empathy or scrutinize.
Cool. I'm gonna empathy all over this masquerade.
I'm going to scrutinize all over it.
Yes. Well, first you have to get in, so.
How
I
rude.
do need to roll a stealth check because I am gonna try and sneak in my weapon though.
Okay, yes. Go ahead and roll your stealth check.
It's not that,
That will
good. but-
not be at a. Actually, no. Do take a plus. Villain
Okay.
costumes probably involve big coats or cloaks.
Well, yeah,
This
no.
is not fair.
I'm also incorporating like actual chains into the costume, not just the.
So
I'm assuming the masquerade is inside, not outside.
Yes. It'll be in the same ballroom.
Then I do not get a bonus.
No.
Yeah, only 5.
But I do get a bonus for being masked.
Yeah, I have not fully improved my stealth score.
Yes.
9s. Okay.
Excuse me. So you can't have that. That's clearly a weapon.
Yeah, I do unfortunately think the part that gets you is the part where your actual fighting chain, as you know, like teardrop-shaped weights at the end.
Yeah.
So I,
So yes,
Wait a minute.
the coat check gentleman does kind of catch that and be like, sir, your weights are not standard, sir.
All right. Well, Enos will go without.
I don't have any weapons on me, so
And you are wearing your costume in such a way so that it's not necessarily obvious it's you, and you just.
also I could just conjure weapons out of midair. So
That is also a thing you can do. I mean, you need a little bit of materials prep, but like, all you need to do is like, you know.
I think I have those materials on me, but not like.
I mean,
No,
stone
I
knives
don't-
is also like literally dirt simple. Like you could
Yeah.
probably just like smash up a fistful
have
of
bucket
champagne
sand.
glasses if you needed to. Like just sweep the tray of drinks off and then like magic, and you're gonna have a bunch of knives in an emergency. Anyway,
Yeah.
I will say, there is one person who is probably easy to recognize at all because, as is tradition, the High Queen is here to kind of like preside over the social event. You know, watch out for the debutantes. She has a very, you know, big, regal, full like face mask, like the actual like, you know, something called the face or the ghost. You know, the Volto. Like so covering her, you know, whole face down. It's got a hinge so she can do that. But it also incorporates kind of a motif of a crown, not a literal crown, but it has kind of like a crown effect on it. Kind of like all those paladin headpieces keep doing in FF14. And also incorporates some extra gems and, you know, has a fully accessorized ball gown. And so, yes, there are, you know, other than that, there are, you know, clusters of people. Are you guys going to try and, like, single out anybody in particular?
I mean, Enos is gonna make a beeline for Princess Estelle.
Okay,
If you
go
can,
ahead
if you
and
can
roll,
track empathy.
roll your scrutinize, or your empathy.
Yes.
Try and figure out where she is.
So I
Yeah.
probably
Wait. No.
looking
This is
for-
definitely my craving. Where's my girl?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably
Where
looking.
is she?
I'm probably looking for a people set up hypothetical masks.
A lot of sets,
Tens, of
actually. Holy
course,
shit.
yeah.
2 10s.
Jeez, you have a lot of empathy.
Literally every die is a match.
Is it? It is. Jesus.
Yeah, you got 4s, 6s, 7s, and 10s.
The power of WoW.
WoW. True WoW.
I don't know about that one. But definitely a little bit of the WoW. You have affection. You have tension.
Action. Romance.
Passion.
No,
But,
this is not a JoJo pod. Fine.
No.
Got it.
But
Excuse me.
just through body language, Enos, you are able to pick out Princess Estelle is actually going, a little incognito. With her distinctive hairstyle, it's hard to like lose her in the crowd because her hair is red gold, still. But she's wearing like a simple like white, cat style mask actually.
Oh, okay. I knew she liked cats.
Like, a little bit of the cat ear on the front and this stuff. And her gown is relatively simple, and kind of like, again, fairly light colored, probably not like a full white, but maybe like a cream color. She does have some extra, gold and silver threaded trim. But like I said, it's relatively easy to pick her out of the crowd. And you can also generally see, someone who you can guess with all those extra sets is probably Paloma Espada with her as well, because, she's dressed as a Cavalier, and her mask is relatively minimal. It's the simple, bird or beak type, but it's kind of reddish. So it doesn't conceal a whole hell of a lot of her face. But yeah, so you can pick out the princess pretty easily.
All right.
Your own crew of debutantes probably kind of like doesn't like spread out, but kind of like rings up in a small social cluster.
Yeah.
Gets ready to break off on their own if they need to. Man, Loth, I know that. I don't know why. I'm kind of like all over the place myself. I think it is because unfortunately I did have to clean and tidy up the room a little.
So hey, Omega.
Yeah.
I kind of cheated a little bit, but I don't know if you took the bait. So can I identify anyone with orichalcum on their mask?
Oh, well, yes, actually. But that's because already in my notes, it's very easy to figure out who Pazoro is.
Okay, fair enough. I had a feeling she might not have needed it, but
yeah, she's wearing another like, feminine style mask. The kind of Colombina, but it has been accented with orichalcum embellishments, like literal orichalcum like leaves and inlay on it. And she has kind of a rich, warm colored ball gown on. But also you've met her in person, so she's still got the a couple of oddly dyed streaks in her hair. Yeah. So like you have no trouble without picking it out. See, wood. Let me double check what mask.
Identify
it does not appear that Alarion, well, I'm sure she was appreciative of the gift. It doesn't appear that Alarion Martin worked in the orichalcum into her style, though.
That's fair. It'll be very hard to identify two people with red hair who are wearing probably identical masks.
I mean, yeah, I won't even make you roll because I think they're obvious. Also, yeah, no, sorry, I just double checked my parenthetical. So the twins, anyway, are probably pretty easy to pick out because they are wearing vertical half masks.
Oh, interesting.
So you can see like half their face anyway. But they've got a sun and moon motif. So Austra has a sun and Aquila has a moon stylized.
Ooh, nice.
So like, yeah, no, literally in my notes, I'd say they're wearing vertical half masks, parenthetical, probably don't do enough to conceal their faces. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to make you roll for that. That's in my notes. It's not a very good disguise.
I had a feeling they were not going to be hard to find.
No. there are a couple of people with them. There is somebody in a dark Moretta mask. There's, kind of another beak-like mask. They've got a young and slim-looking young man, you think, but he's wearing the pantaloon or pantalone type mask, like the old wise man mask. Probably not sure who that is without a roll. But yeah, so you can spot them in the crowd. Nicola, I forgot your name for a second. Jesus.
No, it's okay.
Out here.
Today's goop brain for whatever reason.
I did say our energy levels were a little, even if people aren't feeling like sleepy, our energy levels were not super high earlier. And like I said, Inos, you make a beeline for the princess.
Yep.
I just no need to clock out the exact time, but there's probably like 9 or 10 dances going to be going on.
Okay.
I'll wait till the dancing starts to surprise them.
Sure.
Actually, I probably should. So none of the people. Okay, this is a wild ass question. Are there any of the council other than the queen in here?
I mean, there is the Lord Marshal who's officiating, but he's also probably very known.
Okay, so I'm not gonna have to worry about getting a pistol pointed at me.
No.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to worry about that at a ball anyway. Everybody in this ballroom is disarmed. Probably.
Most.
I'm just pressing X to doubt on that one. As I look at Paloma Espada.
Yeah, she's not armed. Not openly, anyway. She's not carrying her rapier.
Yeah, no, not openly, I believe.
Listen, if she keeps a knife in her boot, it's her business. Inos could hypothetically ask her about that because he is making his way over to the princess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably just gonna wait until dancing gets close to starting.
You're gonna wait until... Well, I don't know. Lucky keeps going when I bring him up, but I'm giving an opportunity if he wants to say anything.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
not
I
talking
need
to you
Dallas
right now, Dallas.
Yeah, I need Dallas to shut up in the first place.
Well, he's going away, so good. There you go.
Excellent.
Sorry, I keep trying to do the opportunity, and then he would cut in.
This is where the fun begins.
Yes. But, I derailed myself, son of a bitch. So...
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault. How long before, the dancing begins, would you say?
Oh, I don't remember the exact amount, but it's more than a few minutes.
Okay.
You gotta make sure everybody has enough time to, arrive.
Yeah, Inos would be a bit villainously dramatic. Would he call the princess a kitty cat? Yes. Yes, he would. After all, it's a masquerade. No one's supposed to know who's who. A perfect opportunity. Yes.
I do not require you to roll empathy to know that when you say this thing you're planning on saying, the person who is definitely not Paloma Espada probably visibly stiffens.
Yes.
She's cringing. Sorry.
But yes, I don't necessarily feel the need to roleplay it out, but Inos will dramatically and villainously... Hang on one second, actually. How dramatic and villainous is this? Not dramatically or villainously much at all. Okay. Well, he tries.
Well, I mean, what were you rolling?
Oh, my theater.
Okay, all right. You probably come off a little stock, guess.
Probably. But yes, he will, bow theatrically to the princess, call her kitten, and say that, he'll see her on the dance floor, and then he'll switch his cape and depart. Probably a bit more words than that, but, dramatic.
Which is also probably good that you leave immediately, because we would... Well, you have already technically rolled for your approach, and you went with theatrical. So like, we maybe have been on the cusp of finding out if Paloma Espada does have a boot knife.
Yes.
Sorry if I was a little quiet there. I scooched my chair back for a second. Had a hard time getting it back into place. Okay, all right. And I believe that, well, he has still stepped away. That Nicola has also got plans to wait until we get to a little more to the dancing.
Mhm.
Well, wait, because he's the only other person here. I will wait until Dallas get back to unload. But I think my vague idea is I have, clusters of groups of people that I can describe in mask mode. Oh, you back?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, like, if you guys are the types who would be kind of like, looking around the room people, I, can just kind of describe handfuls of costumes if you want to, try and figure out who they are, or you can name characters and try to hunt them out of the group. Which style would you prefer?
I prefer the first because I want to see if I can guess who they are.
Okay. Inos, are you looking for want to look out for specific people, or just kind of cast your eyes around the room?
I am. I'll be definitely looking for. Well, actually, is Lucy coming to the ball?
I don't. I think you asked her about it, but I don't think she was planning on it. It's not in my notations about her mask selection, so.
Yes, Enos would definitely be on the lookout for Lucy, Noctiluca, and Ray Schools. Other than that, just kind of look around.
All right, well, shoot me another empathy or scrutinize.
Well, let's do that empathy.
If you're being specific. People are just gonna have to deal with me yawning at home. I'm sorry.
Looks like a pair of eights.
I'm a yawny boy today.
Yep.
Double 8s, double 6s.
6s and 8s. Okay. All right. So,
And
well,
two.
since you got multiple matches, we'll call that, even though I didn't make you take a multiple action penalty. As noted, there's no need to roll to look for Pazoro. She's very easy to pick out with the Orichalcum. Funnily enough, you are pretty easy to pick out who you would guess are the Rearmouse siblings, because both of them are going for the full, what we call the Plague Doctor style, the full beak, the goggles, everything, complete with dark hats and coats. So, Paz Oro is this, vibrantly, brightly warm, summery colors, got her very obviously identifiable mask. And then there are just two gothic shadows behind her. So it's real easy to figure out, Chief. So yes, you can pick out Noctiluca pretty easily. Yes, no. And it kind of like you would say when you pick her out, probably almost like a parody of her normal outfit in a, rosy pink costume of a duelist, like a protagonist or a rival type character, breeches, big fancy boots with extra bells on, coat with extra shoulder, kind of a thing. And like I said, in kind of a rosy pink culture with another, very brightly colored, beautifully adorned, with extra, feathers and gems in that Columbina, that coy feminine mask type. You can easily identify Reschools, who is not supposed to be at this party, but as we've discussed, I think on mic last session and off mic, of course she's crashing.
Mm-hmm.
It literally says in my notes, shocking few. There's an additional member of their party in what you assume is the Verity Quadrant. So yes, it's pretty easy to pick her out, but I think a roll was good just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you found your specificos. So you can, go around and introduce yourself if you want, but like I said, those are your specific eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to get some some other groups of people out, like I said, and Dallas is interested in guessing, so you guys can guess or roll if you want to figure out. There's a pretty normal looking group. You've got a kind of like Cavalier in a black domino, with a couple of people with him. There's a woman in an emerald tinged mask, and more of a young man in kind of a beaked mask with this Cavalier. They're kind of forming a trio. Kind of vaguely around them, there is a young man in a vaguely deer-inspired horned mask going on as well, kind of like a long triangular face shape, but extra deer antler or horns going on, kind of lurking. Yeah, I've already kind of vaguely described that group. There are a handful of people near but not directly around the princess. Again, it's who I will say for the sake of it, Nicola can probably figure out that it's Princess Estelle from the hair color and the fact that Inos went to speak to her first.
So it's probably more the Enos giveaway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real.
kind of the vague neighborhood. There's someone wearing a simple dark leather cat style gato mask. Few embellishments on their costume, relatively simple look. But one of them is actually wearing like that, what I called the butata, like the big, triangle chin mask, complete with like the tricorn hat and the big cloak, kind of a thing.
The chunky man.
Yeah, and also there's kind of an oddball there because with that, couple of people, the cat and the square mask. There is what you would guess is a young woman kind of dressed as like a sage or a wizard, but she's wearing the Pantaloon the Wise Man mask. Kind of an odd crew. You've already said, House Oro's group. There is a guy in a kind of a wild man costume, with extra like dark stiffened clothing and like lots of fake leaves woven into it, kind of a thing. Got like another like triangular horned mask. This one you might say is a little more antelope than deer. And there are a couple of extra people there. A young male, young woman with like normal conventional masks, like dominoes or face masks. There is actually a younger gentleman, though, you would say, who's with that group, who's got a non-standard kind of wolf-like mask. And it's not Konrad in an extra hat. This person is shorter than Konrad is, so it's just there's
I didn't expect Konrad to be here, but to be honest.
No, I'm just saying before anybody asks.
It is not Dwargman yet.
No work.
Kind of in the vague area near where Reschools is. There's a couple of different people. You've got another wise man pantaloon mask, though that person is wearing spectacles over the glasses nose. You got a person in the simple white full face mask in a very plain dark costume, not unlike a nun. There's a couple of more embellished feminine styles, though. There's someone wearing a very on the younger side woman with a delicate beaked mask with silver and feather adornments. Kind of a couple of the masculine, square-jawed brute masks, though one of them you think might be a young lady wearing a kind of exaggerated sailor's outfit under it as well. And there's a more, floral gown going with another Columbine mask. The spectacles probably gave away what that party is, though, if people are thinking with their ears.
Yeah.
Yes. there is actually somebody in another Wildman costume, but he's got the Harlequin style mask on, accompanied with a floral patterned young woman. And there are a couple of, another couple of ladies with them. Again, very very similar, basic, feminine upper face mask with lots of like flower and leaf style adornments.
And generally 20 is too
colors.
old, right?
Yes. If you're guesstimating, they would have to be crashing.
If you're not, yeah. I mean, like, once again, it's not saying no one else is.
With them though, there is a very odd person kind of, lingering behind that younger woman in that party I described. She's wearing the like black Moretta mask, like so the round circle, and kind of like got a full headscarf woven around her head, but wearing like a very striking like opalescent black dress.
Can I make a scrutinize roll?
Yeah, you can scrutinize that person.
I think I know who that is, but I'm also completely probably wrong. Oh, this definitely doesn't hit any of my things, because this is literally just curiosity and whimsy. Oh, 2 4s.
All right. Yeah, you don't know that person.
Oh, it's not who I
Just
thought it
what's
was.
scrutiny.
Oh, young lady. I'm stupid. Never mind.
Well, accompanying a young lady. It is a woman in this like opalescent style, but like you don't know who this extra person is with that group. Do you have a guess on who the group is?
I think this is the Oh my, no, I'm so bad with
The Noblesse, yeah.
I think this is the
Freddy?
No. Freddy is the wildmen people and the antlers.
Well, there are 2 wild men.
Oh, that's a good point.
I
think the one with the antlers is Freddy, though.
I would say you've made your scrutinized check. No, you're pretty sure Egan Freddy is the wild man with the Harlequin mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So that would be this group.
Oh, so he's also crashing.
Oh, so I was right. Yeah.
So this is the Freddy party?
Yes, and also no, Egan Freddy's not crashing. He's 19.
Oh, right, I'm older than him. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's his sister
meant to be here.
But they're
The drinking age is
0.
right. No, just making sure, because I bought him alcohol, and that suddenly got weirder that he's younger than me.
I mean, I think young people are not supposed to drink to excess because we understand what drunkenness is, but also it's
True,
the thing about
but
having
it's
sterile
not
water.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't buy him like ale. I bought him like nice wine.
Okay. This is not important though.
Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, no.
Okay, so,
like I said, you got your scrutinized. Yeah, you can be pretty sure that's probably the Ferretti party, but you don't know who this extra woman is with them.
Okay, well, I think I know, but Nicola would have no idea who this is. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it might be the Bay lady.
That you probably don't know.
But
I think that's actually all of my major groups.
Okay. Then Inos will. What's a good word? What's a good word for move villainously?
Stalk.
I was gonna say stalk, but stalk implies more
Creep.
Yes, I would
menace.
creep on. No, oh,
Like creep closer is like in that context.
No, I think Lucky's looking for a word that's less stealthy sounding.
yeah.
How do you loudly villainously go somewhere? You could strut, you could march,
Menace.
Gallivant.
you could saunter.
Oh no.
Yeah,
There's a good word for this. Hold on.
I think saunter is pretty close to what I want, though.
Put some hip sachet in there.
Hit some hip sachet. Make sure my cloak billows. But Inos will make his way over to the Oro group and make introduction and Well, actually, in the rules of a Masquerade, are you not supposed to say who you are and stuff, or?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to mention it. You can probably say, like, especially because you're Inos, you can probably say, like, a double entendre to let everybody know who you are. Like, you know, you don't necessarily, like, go out of your way to conceal your speaking voice. So, you know, but yeah, like, figuring out who everybody is kind of a thing we do. Maybe at the end is, like, a reveal, you know? Like, if we want to be really extra, you know, everybody at the end, you know, takes their masks off.
Okay.
And that's when the one guy is like, "Sir, remove your mask," and he's like, "I wear no mask," and then you all go crazy. No, we're not running that same.
And then explode into
campaign
blood.
yet.
Turns
No.
out you were snogging the queen.
Well, no, I just referenced the King in Yellow, which is much
Yeah.
worse.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Mask of the Red
yeah.
Death.
No.
Sorry.
It's much worse than the
I was
Mask
gonna
of the
say,
Red Death. Both
we
are
all
good, though.
die.
The problem
we
about that
all
is, like,
die.
It's just think about, like, the King in Yellow plays.
No,
so there's the-
no. We're getting off topic. No.
Yeah, I just made a reference.
All right. Then.
Anyway, yes. So you're up with the Oro crew.
I'm up with the Aura Clue. I will say some double entendre, let Paz know that it's me, your boy. Hey, demons.
Pretty
It's
sure
your...
Paz probably could have guessed that one.
Yeah,
Hey, it's your boy, the demons.
exactly.
Yeah, the demons.
The demons. I'm multiple demons in
No,
one,
I think
baby.
that's a. Also, I think, you know, Axe did a good job of reversing the line.
But, we'll just, you know, mention it's been a while. He probably would have, that Inos probably would have came by earlier, but someone in our group has been incessantly pestering certain heirs and thoughts that she would not want to be bogged down.
Oh, it's quite all right.
Mhm.
I find sometimes socializing a welcome break from my studies.
Inos nods to that and says, "That's good. That's good. Then if you enjoy such breaks, maybe I can call upon you in the next couple days. There's something I've been meaning to talk about, and I am curious to meet your new attendant. What was his name?
Ah, yes. I won't say his name. That would probably be rude, but obviously he could not attend with us tonight. It would
Really?
have been odd.
Hmm.
Well, he is not exactly in the social circles, unlike yourself. It would be. I do not want to say I think of him as a manservant, but it would be a little bit like inviting your manservant. You know?
I suppose.
Manservant.
I
He's here
suppose.
to aid me in my studies, not to accompany me in my social situations.
I see. And anyways, though, enough of that matter. Got words. Got your eyes on anyone that you want to sweep off their feet here at the dance so far? Or are you someone who's more married to your coursework?
I am not particularly planning on any sweeping at this time.
Are you one who prefers to be swept off her feet?
No, that sounds the way that goes. That sounds a little tedious.
Inos has a hearty chuckle. Well, we will see.
Probably, you know, taps the mask a little, you know, strokes the chin and be like, perhaps I am more one who is interested in the chase before the sweeping.
Ah, I see. Well, anyone who seeks your harm, best beware then.
Well, I think they would best beware anyway. As I am not alone in attendance. You know, the masked figure of Paz Oro gestures back to the two rear mouses who are doing a real good job of just kind of standing there, like very, very hench-like, very gargoyle-atude. But my noble house has dispatched several of our esteemed cousins to circulate. They are doing a good job of not standing too close, but
Oh wait, did the Baron release the 7 marriageable cousins?
Yes, not all of them are here because some of them are too old, but some of them are amongst the crew.
They have
So
been
like the
unleashed.
seven marriageable
I still love
cousins
this is
with
a thing.
seven evil
Alright, that's-
exes.
No, this is the joke.
Also,
Scene
literally,
first.
that's how they're in my notes now. They are just described as the 7 marriageable cousins. Evani, Oro, Viera Oro, Buenavento Hamada, Miran Hamada, Nefon Orle, Paciencia Orle, and Sidwell Cowrie.
I left a comment.
Danger. Yeah, no, you saw it.
It was just
Some of
just
them
one.
were- You're
one
doing
word,
a great
but-
job, by the way, Conrad, of avoiding them because you went to neither the masquerade nor the garden party. The rest of them are lurking.
I'm taken.
There's probably 3 and 4. And
So-
these people are from.
I am
They
uninteresting.
don't necessarily care about that one, Chief.
Comment from Axe.
I know,
But
but it's true. He's a fiance. But yes, no. To answer your question of dread, yes. Probably at least 3 of the marriageable cousins are rattling around at this masquerade.
oh, I'm doubly glad this is a masquerade.
Oh wait, culturally that doesn't mean much actually. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go hide
exactly.
under this desk again.
Have fun at your garden party.
But yes, Inos will exchange a couple more pleasantries with Paz. Make a promise for a meeting later. Maybe he'll pop in over. Where is she studying constantly now?
She's usually in either the Royal. Is it called the Royal Forges? It's the Forges or the library, the archives.
The archives, yes. And later, man, he will make his depart, but before he leaves, Inos will sweep up to Noctiluker and he will boop her beak nose with his beak nose and move on.
All right, it's very adorable. Yes, they touch tips. Scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, actually, I think you would probably know from that interaction there that yeah, I don't think that Paz Oro's not particularly good at like. I mean, she's not terrible at deception, but like she's not, you asked her about like, sweeping off her feet. She is not one of the handful of people I did actually give points in dance to, for instance. But like she actually has a decent cluster of social skills. She has some number of skills, like not just the normal graces, but stuff like, fascinate, lie, etc. So she's not quite as gregarious as her dad, and her knowledge is way better than her charm. But like she can talk the talk if she needs to. She can socialize, so it's not like an averse thing. She probably probably after you make your scooch over there, some mysterious black-beaked young lady, it's Aurelia, will use this as an opportunity to converse. Because they probably would have only had enough time to like briefly be introduced at like breakfast earlier today. So once I'm not saying that the rest of the debutantes are like watching where Inos slides, but I definitely feel like they're observing where Inos is going, and if it's like somebody, if they get an idea it's somebody they want to talk to, they'll mingle that way.
Actually,
Otherwise,
in that
they're
case,
just
I
kind
should
of,
probably
like,
go
circle
say.
lurking.
Actually, if they're kind of wondering where I'm going, I should probably stop by, figure out where. Actually, how old is Wood? Sorry, hang on.
It's fine. Double check. Like I said, you went for more of the strategy of you're trying to eyeball people. I went instead of Nicola just kind of like looking around the room like a gossipy little bitch.
Yeah, Alarion's 16. Would she be here then?
Yeah.
Yeah, where is she? If
I will
find
give
her.
you to that one for free already. Because I already told
she's the
Nicola
one
where the twins are.
Yeah, she's the one near them.
Ah, very well.
There is another red-headed young lady, coral red hair, who's wearing a actually she has her own it's probably blue, but she's also got the simple beak style bird mask.
Mm-hmm.
But picking out the twins is not hard.
Yeah, fair enough. So,
Also,
Inos,
you will notice. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I will not notice because Inos will glide. This time he glides over to the Marin faction. He will give polite but quick pleasantries to the Marin twins, and then immediately move over to Alarion, and he'll say some nice things, and he'll just lean over to her and imply that if she is looking for a decent company of her own, age and interest, that she could do worse to, hang out with the I want to say it like an Entundra. What kind of mask was Paz wearing again?
It's the simple, the Columbina, like the feminine style mask. But remember, hers is orichalcumed up,
Yes.
very glitzy.
Yes. Well, no, it's not gold. Yeah, no, like,
It's white gold. You can say gold.
Yeah, I'll say that she can do worse than hanging out with the one of Desert Gold and the gem and the gem mask, and just he'll use his beak to just kind of the beak on his mask just to kind of indicate the two that he was speaking to. Yeah, he's speaking of.
All right. Well, meta goal accomplished. Get your Steam achievement. Yeah, I suspect that probably means that the witchy trio will form
Excellent.
and hang out.
My villainous deeds have been accomplished.
Yes, and probably if Nicola does not make give a secret sign to her to not do that, it will probably become a witchy quartet because Alestra will join as well.
Oh no, I would be encouraging this.
I would assume so, since she is Aurelia's lady in waiting. I'm going to assume that where Aurelia is going, she is going as well. So
no, Alestra is not.
Irwin Wayland. Who will? Yeah, she'll probably stalk by.
Oh, that's right, Irwin. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
I got
a very silver mask, but
no.
as usual, I feel like spoilers for the night, unless we're gonna go do any extra emphasis. Once they've formed the block, those four young ladies are probably not going to do a lot of dancing. They'll probably take a couple courtesy dances, especially if anybody from your own side, tries to get him out there. And it's a masquerade. We're here to have fun, but I definitely feel like they are more in conversation, whereas Orwin Wayland is probably like taking every dance offer she gets and probably even like taking a couple bullets for Aurelia,
Yeah.
But definitely she is also still of she's of certain enough stuff that she can still dance but still be within like Aurelia's orbit in case there was a social incident, an assassination attempt, whatever. Do remember that while she is more sociable, Yorwin is still of House Wayland.
She has a hammer under that skirt. All right, she has a hammer under that dress.
She might have purchased it here, but she probably brought some stuff from home. You never know. Ike might have, sewn her a couple extra daggers into her sleeves. Dearest sister, when you go to a ball, make sure to wear this dress. I have included extra knives as a treat.
This will be a surprise tool to help us later.
We've hidden a couple iron nails in your shoe just in case.
All right, but just to make it quick, as Inos will flounce over to Ray's schools, they will engage in dramatic combat.
Oh yes, no.
Dramatic clash.
Yes.
What's actually, let me double check. What's Reese's dramatical levels? Oh yeah, no, yeah, she got. Nah, she's fucking slamming.
Yep. But other than that, Inos will return and wait for the dancing to begin.
Yes, so probably shortly after you make your first rounds of introductions, it is Dance Tim.
All right.
Yes.
Inos will try to make his first dance with Princess Estelle.
Easily done.
He will try to keep the Princess Estelle between him and Paloma Espada at all times.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paloma's probably got to take the note now that it's like, okay, all right, I know they dance together, they're good at it. She's had some time to think about it. Like Paloma Espada is in the stage of like, okay, this guy, this is a known bozo. Do I allow this guy to dance with the princess because I know him, and even though he's a cheeky little git, I let him get by with it, or would I block? And she does decide on the like, no, we'll let him dance it out.
Oh, if she tried to block, I would have taken her to dance.
I mean, you can still do that. You may end up dancing with her anyway. She would probably try to go for it, but you gotta watch your feats.
Combat by dancing now. All right, dance to dance combat. It will be. But actually, no. I should probably dance with her as a semi-apology for just kind of. Yes. So, yes. But I will. As always, get my first dance out with Princess Estelle, and then as the night goes on, I like to try and get a dance in with both Noctiluca and Reyes Ghouls. After which, Paloma Espada, if she's available. How many dances do you say we're having?
I like 9 or 10.
9 or 10? Actually, let me write this down real quick.
You should have good room for all that stuff.
Yeah, let me see here. Paloma Espada, that. I should not neglect our debutante. So I will dance with each of the ladies from our new debutantes as well. So that'll be another 3. So that's 7. That's 2 left. Let's add 1 for Paz.
Spoilers, you're gonna have to do a lot of work on Paz. Like I said, she does not have perform dance, and her coordination is like 2.
On hers, I will take a multiple action to lead her in dancing as well as dance as well for myself. Actually, I think I can do that. I think that makes sense.
I mean, you don't have to actually take the multiple action to do it, but yeah, if you want to roll, you can roll it out.
Would you pencil me in for a dance?
You want to dance again?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
You're fun to dance with.
Really good at
You have like a dance of like 8.
6.
Do you remember who taught everyone in House Logi how to dance?
Yeah.
I mean, that's still talked about. Like, honestly, people are probably like trying to figure out which one are. It's probably not hard with Inos, but like people are probably trying to scope out who the Logi crew is. They will sadly be a little bit disappointed because Inos did not do the in-depth dance lessons. He has usually been using his free time to like squirrel away and buy exotic materials on the market board.
Yes.
So not quite as much of a slam, though I think a few of the crew have a more natural dancing talent.
No, yeah.
But yeah.
But no. Who has the sun and who has the moon mask?
Aquila.
Aquila is the sun?
No, the moon. Yes, that.
No, Aquila is the moon. Okay.
Yeah, she's the moon. Alistair's the sun.
I got confused there. What line do I want to use here? It's nighttime, right?
Yeah, it's a night. It's a ball.
Nighttime is the right time.
The nighttime is the right time.
I will probably, from by her side, I will cut in and say, I see the light has drawn me to you. May I ask for this dance on this night?
Yeah, I will make you roll. You got it. You get your dances in.
Believe I owe you a first dance.
I wonder if the mic picked up.
I'm 90% sure I danced with Oster first last time.
I do believe that is correct. Yes.
So I want to dance with
sure they
Aquila
had a
first.
very heated discussion about who went first last time.
Exactly. And I will cut this down the middle and do the reverse and dance with Aquila first, then Oster.
There really are so many A names.
I know, and they're all in my social circle.
That's unfortunate.
Well, like I said, I do think I did mention I do favor names that are earlier in the alphabet, just because, like I said, when I do like name lists for meanings, those naturally go first. But it is also very funny that like out of the characters Nicola has decided to interact with, and even some of the ones he named himself.
Yes, no, this is a prison of my own making.
Like, like I said, like, Narissa's an N, that's a very, very lower
I will
down
probably
name.
dance with, obviously I'm
Enos'
dancing.
favorite names are all over the place.
Obviously I'll dance with the twins, then I'll probably dance with Paz, then our debutantes. Would it be rude to dance with my sister? No, that might. No,
it would be a little, it's not like, gasp, how dare you, but it's definitely like, that would be a little odd.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
I'll
mostly
probably
fictional
dance.
thing where like you're.
I'll probably dance with the other two, than the other two of our debutantes, and then obviously Alarion and Inos, and I think that's it.
Inos, do you still have a? You were doing your math. You still get a free dance slot?
Yes, I do.
No, Enos, with an
Oh,
E
Inos?
and an Os.
Ah,
I think you didn't quite count up 10.
no, I think I'm at 9 actually.
So at some point during the evening, you Enos are actually approached by a lady dressed in kind of like flowing green gown, which is actually like it's simultaneously like very flashy but also kind of concealing, like doesn't show a lot of skin but also like is a little not quite body hugging, but you know what I mean. Like it's
Accentuates
well-
the curves.
Yeah, it's cut. It's cut to accentuate her figure.
yes.
Okay.
Wearing a like bright green Columbina style mask,
Mhm.
and just kind of sidles up to you. Kind of got kind of that you think kind of behind the mask got dark red orange dark ginger hair, but kind of sidles up to you and says, "Hello, sir. Might I have this dance?"
Inos, holds out his hand to us. Is like, but of course.
Okay.
Can I roll empathy to try and figure out who this is?
Yeah.
Don't fail me now. 4 2s
And a pair of 6s.
and a pair of 6s. Yes,
Yeah.
excellent.
Probably take the 6s high. Yeah. So with empathy, at first, you do not recognize this person. You do get the impression that they are probably not a 19-year-old. But I assume you go in for the dance.
Yes.
The person you are dancing with the very bright green mask and coloration, is very graceful, very very skilled in their dancing. Performs some of your best advanced moves. And there is something just a little odd about them, the way they're speaking, the way they're talking, just kind of like making hushed conversations. With a successful empathy roll, you do notice that while dancing with you, this woman does like make some very pointed glances, like out of her side eye, out of the side of her mask, at the party that you and Nicola reckon are both Ferretti's, and specifically at the mysterious extra person in Team Ferretti. But otherwise, dances very eloquently. Are there any other skills you'd like to roll in this moment?
I would love to roll eerie if I had it.
Oh, you could roll your 2 cents dice, buddy.
I'm gonna roll my 2.
You never know. There's no penalties for not being skilled. You just, have a 10% chance.
Yeah, do it.
Do it, coward.
No.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Nothing.
Then do I have anything else?
I mean, did you actually take your allied studies?
Yes. I do have. That's a pull of 4. Fuck it. I'll roll it. Why not? Because I have my suspicions on who this is, but
Yes.
well.
And I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
God damn it.
No, nothing. Inos has something. It's gone. You get, whipped into a spin and are just like, whoa. Huh? What was I thinking?
And I would like to use sense hearing. I want to know if I can hear anything of what the Ferretti group is talking about right about now.
Sure.
Because guess what? I got 8 dice in that.
Oh, 10s.
10s.
They're not really talking about much of anything. Several of
Son
them
of a bitch.
are probably dancing. You do probably overhear a brief comment between the younger Lady Ferretti, Miss Eglantine, who does kind of seem kind of like not necessarily enamored, but like very impressed. And like I said, it's pretty easy to guess which one she is because there's only so many, younger ladies in a group that is very obviously Ferretti.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of speaking with that, I said that mysterious extra woman that Nicola couldn't identify. And that you rolled multiple sets on your empathy. You also don't recognize. But kind of it's like, oh, those dancers are so good. I wonder who they are. I wonder if I would have time for such a dance. And then, the other one puts, her hand on what you presume to be Eglantine Ferretti's shoulder and says, "Don't worry about it, dear. Don't worry about it. Don't concern yourself. There'll be plenty of time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, my darling little." Oh, shouldn't say that. Almost said her name out loud. Kind of pats her on the shoulder. Anyway, you have a rad dance.
I have a rad dance, and I am slightly unsettled. I don't know who this woman is, but
at the end, she does, take a bow with you and says, "Oh, it's a wonderful dance, sir. Thank you so much. I can tell you are one with a passion. I would love to make a calling later, but sorry, a will-o'-the-wisp jumps out of the garden party, which is a completely different scene, and melts Logesh's brains. Logesh is eaten by a black dog.
Well,
Oh, great
no.
depression. Thanks.
But no, takes a bow and says, "You're a beautiful dancer." Yeah, no, we could be a little creepily forward. You're a beautiful dancer, little demon. Maybe next time without quite so much iron. But alas, I must away. I have so many more interesting things to do tonight. A ciao. And just kind of, adieu.
Adieu.
Blows you, blows you a couple kisses, and then just is gonna.
Yes,
Start
Inos
trying to
will.
sneak
No,
away.
Inos was said. It's like, no, I have to get in a parting shot. It's like, yes, my lovely neighbor.
Just turn, wink. You swear to God, Enos, when she winks, there's actually like a little starburst out there, just and then, just goes behind a crowd of people, and then just doesn't come out around the other side of that crowd.
As soon as you mention like what is it? She winked. I'm like, yeah, there's gonna be like a little sparkle.
I'm sorry. I'm a little more scared than I am impressed right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Classic fairy.
I mean,
Hey, remember how we talked about what Beauty 3 means?
Yeah,
You're very pretty.
they're very pretty.
Even though you're masked right now, so you don't technically get your
Very
beauty. But
Nope,
like,
I do not.
people know.
I find it hilarious that even though I have Beauty 3, I take so much pains to conceal it most of the time. It very rarely comes up.
I mean, honestly, it would be a pain in the dick if you were actually Beauty 3ing like all the time. It is like really pretty.
Yeah. But Inos is going. Well, no, that's like the last dance of the night, isn't it?
Yeah, if that was like you pre-planned all your dances out, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would end up being kind of the last dance to catch you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple other opportunities with some characters, but I actually think because it's Inos and Nicola who are here, we'll avoid any there'd be no point in introducing a rude, crude dude who might challenge you to a fight because you guys
because we will both go, no!
you'll get somebody else,
Hey, I'll make do. Listen, I will try my trick of just shattering everything on that man's person with my spellcraft.
You'll walk
Well,
up and be like,
it
"We
wouldn't
got
be
served."
it wouldn't be at the ball.
Oh, okay.
So presumably he would be, because you're not supposed to fight. You don't have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, no, there's not a really big deal in introducing that. I think I got my big mystery drama points out. So yeah, I think that's gonna cap up your evening.
Beauty 3, jeez.
It's you.
Fairies like shiny things. They like pretty things.
Well, and funnily enough, the last character you were introduced to, who had the ability to mysteriously disappear outside of line of sight, did claim that they were granted the title Knight of Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was my suspicion. I was just trying to find some way to confirm it.
Hey, it turns out that you are not good at finding out supernatural things.
Hey, guess what, Lucky?
I gotta change that. I'm changing that.
Guess what, Lucky? You have an A name you have to deal with now.
Do I?
True.
Yeah, her name's Acrasia.
Ah.
Yeah,
Well,
she's a crazy.
Hey, crazy.
Sorry, I said it, and then I'm just feeling myself sinking into my chair.
All right. Well, I think that is enough for the masquerade now, unless we're gonna do something at the end.
No, I think we do like the big dramatic moment of there being a unmasking. The only thing I would say, unless there was somebody with a specific costume you want to know who was behind a mask, we can cover that. Sorry, I'm losing my focus very slightly because I'm getting rumbly stomach. But we're over 3 hours, so we'll probably wrap up with a brief interlude at the garden party because, like I said, there's some people rattling around there that may be of interest to Logesh. And by interest, I mean of terror.
Terror.
Yeah.
But like I said, if there's any costumes you would want identified, I have those all in my notes. The only big thing I would want to say is that, hey, that mysterious extra person I keep mentioning with the Ferretti party, she is mysteriously not there when the time comes to take off masks.
I am not surprised.
Neither will Nicola will also mysteriously not be there.
Well, yeah, no. You and Reese Ghouls have to dramatically dip. That's actually probably
I feel like we cross each other in the hallway going towards the window.
I don't want to go in depth on that scene because, like I said, we've been going for almost 3.5 hours, and I'm developing a hunger. And we don't want the session to go on too long anyway. But that's the kind of scene that almost never happens. So I'm just I feel like there's just a little moment where the two of you mask off or in the hallway getting ready to duck out, and you're just like, it's you, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I've never asked you this before. Would you like to go for drinks later?
What do you got there? A smoothie?
Sure. Sure, I'll tell you childhood stories about Inos.
Perfect, darling. We're going to be the best of friends.
Inos feels like a menacing aura.
Inos is holding a champagne glass and it just spontaneously cracks and he's just like, oh! An omen.
Someone must be talking about me.
A portent. My right rib bone itches. No. But yeah, so it sounds like there's not anybody specific costume-wise you want to call out though. So we'll briefly touch on the garden party. I think it is more in general the kind of much more reserved, mature, adult even, because there are actually probably a couple of the high house lords and some of their senior counselors who do show up briefly. A lot of them are busy, but they do touch on some things. So Leslok is in his own social circle. I'm sure that Leslok spends most of his time hanging out, on a cute little date with his fiance. But there are still at least polite greetings to be exchanged.
Of course.
Yeah, you can at least touch base with several others and see how things are going. The main thing is definitely at some point during the night, Logesh, being there. I don't want to say you get pounced upon or anything, but it is definitely a point that you are introduced to, and by which I mean they introduce themselves to you, to spearheaded by the one known as Ava Oro. Actually cross-check who is not there with something else. Just 1 second. Yeah, okay. So, Logesh, you would be very briefly introduced. What? No, I don't think. I was thinking about making this a bigger scene with Rodrigo as well, but I think he is probably not there at the garden party. Garden parties are not really his speed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He's probably out. he's much more the kind of guy to go hit up, the skinny goat at this time of night, drink some booze, eat some meat, yell at the bards to, play some southern songs. And if he's very lucky, get into a fist fight. But you, Logesh, are introduced to Ava Oro, who is, a beautiful, young woman in her, early 20s. She's like Paz Oro's, like, first or second cousin, possibly removed with some extra, stees in there. Obviously very, very pretty, very marriageable, very rich, judging by all the, jewelry she's, flashing even at a garden party. Sir Logesh, so great to make your acquaintance. Would you like
Okay.
would you like to share a glass of wine this evening? I should introduce you to my cousin. And then it's the rest who are there are oh no, it's the whole, like I said, it's the whole pack. It's just well, not the whole pack. Only 4 of them are there.
They're like a wolf pack just circling.
Yeah.
They're just waiting until you expose a weakness and then they go for the kill.
But you will be introduced to Ava Oro Evadne, who is a lady, and so Nefon Orle is also a lady. Sidwell Cowrie and Buenavento Hamada are marriageable male cousins. They're very charming. Buenavento is, lots of all around low necklines, amongst these people, jewelry, flashing smiles, dancing, glasses of wine.
Well, Logesh has already mentioned and come to terms with what he wants to do. Let's roll. Am I allowed to roll graces to just?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Hang out with them, but not go too far. Just not gracefully, like.
Yes, to politely, eschew interest. Yes, you can roll your graces. Yes, I was literally thinking that as you were building up to asking. I was like, that's probably gonna be a graces roll to make polite small talk, but also put up some barriers.
Yeah,
go ahead and roll those out.
Actually make the effort of since they came here, hang out with them and talk to them. Maybe dance, drink.
And
but,
they are circulating, and there probably is a little bit of garden dancing.
Oh, okay. Well, wish me luck. 2 threes.
Oh, just barely. All right, you manage not to make an ass of yourself, but also not to do the other thing I could have done with a failure and make yourself accidentally seem more interested.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't think you completely scare them off with just one night's roll, because they're out here for a purpose. They're here to make moves, marriage moves, which is a whole thing. But you do manage to like I said, not make an ass of yourself and embarrass yourself, and kind of put some distance and make some new acquaintances. All right, but yes, like I said, I think we're blocking out for the day. I will leave the room open just in case anything is to happen overnight. But we will probably end with my favorite sort of drama, announcing the next block of things. Because at the end of the Masquerade, the Lord Marshal, reads out a report handed to him, which explains what our next block of events are. So the second day's events. Sorry, I clicked too low in my notes. It's going to be a little animal heavy. So the morning blocks are going to be the hunt, followed by the new falconry event. After lunch, it will be horsemanship, then jousting. And then in the evening, the eventide, it shall be the portrait competition, where I would like to remind everybody, Inos has volunteered to be the model. Or a model. I don't know if they'll have multiple models. But yes, so that will be day 2 will be hunting, falconing, birding, as it were, horsing and lancing, and then painting. So that one will be very fun. Trout pop. Well, we're gonna find out about the trout population when we do the hunt.
This is the first thing that came to my mind. Is sorry.
No, it's fine. I understand. It's much like we got to get out of here. I think the trout population is making its way through Rubik's Raptor / Project Ignis videos right now. It's in our brains, but I think that will bring us to a close on session 16. We can call this one the Masquerade because we got all the way through that, and then I'm gonna suspect next session will, at the very least, be the lead up to the Grand Melee, and possibly even into actually at least some of the matches. We'll see how long fighting takes.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna finally start.
So
Workman.
roll, let's do EXP. I think everybody, we all showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that I am a little generous with the role-playing embodiment point, but I think everybody had a moment in character anyway, and I don't really like to nickel and dime you guys about the
What'd I
two
do?
basic EXP because of stuff.
I heard my name. What'd I do?
No
No,
one
you're
said
good.
Dallas.
No, Nicola.
Oh.
All right,
Can we
I
take
am
one away?
actually just for Dallas. Dallas is actually going to get 0 EXP. No. But you do make me seriously contemplate my generosity. No. Did anybody fulfill any of their passions, come up with the way they get you extra? Actually, no, it's just your mission that gets the extra XP. But any problems or missions cleared?
Inos is and
I
so
don't think your unwholesomeness actually would have come up because we were wearing a mask the whole time, even for new people.
Well, no, to ensure a social successful debut for the young heirs. Are we still mid of that?
Yeah, the debut process is throughout the whole arc.
Okay.
If you wanted to call it a day at the Masquerade and clock
Well,
out,
I got Teen Girl Squad together, and I was able to introduce at least Vulcan to Huron and
it's true.
True. So personally, I would like to say that's done. I
Yeah,
haven't
you can clock that out and think about another next mission.
because I'm still gonna keep working on that, but it's just one of those things. I wanted to make sure that they don't leave this area not having made connections. And
you definitely if the plan was for your mission to be to make those connections.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said a successful, safe debut, but yes, I like to think that
I think that's fulfilled. Yes.
Yeah, so
Help them network.
Yeah.
And yes, as I just
And I have unwittingly
rephrase your new mission.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm fine with not taking that extra XP. I'm just saying I need to change
I
it.
think it counts. You did protect Leslok until he got here, and I approved the mission in the place.
Okay, thank you.
Would a social debut mission be over, or is that still continuing?
The actual debut part is still continuing. Yes.
Okay, so I'll keep my mission on.
No, I phrased it wrong, but I was more thinking just getting the Teen Girl Squad together.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have been assisting. I've been assisting you because my sister needs friends.
For now, I think
she is stuck in a literal tower.
I feel I've not done enough to ensure her debut.
Well, that's okay. Aurelia's not clocking out her mission yet either. Aurelia's current mission is make a big splash in the capital.
I don't think Aurelia needs our help to make a social debut. My sister is more socially awkward than
hold on,
Aurelia
Omega.
is.
I just remember what my mission should be now.
Dodge marriage proposals.
I'm a man of passion.
Passion.
What
does that mean?
I actually
I don't know.
If that is we need maybe to work on that. I don't know if that's distinct enough to be a mission. It's close, but it's got some wiggle room. You don't have to delete it. It's a thing we'll think about. We got some time. Though I know Loth will be away for a while. It's not a huge deal. It is interesting to note that you did kind of technically you did fulfill your mission because it was to protect Leslok until he became the Marquess, and now he is the Marquess. So that is indeed clock it out.
Yes,
I was gonna look at the character sheet for something and I fucking lost it. But no, I think we're good. Oh, now I remember what I was gonna because we're talking about Alastra and yeah, I mean she's charm 2. Actually, no, I did. I'm not exactly sure what stat block she picked it up, but Aurelia does have 3 charm.
Yeah.
So yes, I think Alastra is a little more book bookish and grounded, but she has a good command stat, so
Which
she's.
is why I keep trying to or not hook her up, but you know what I mean. Like,
I'm amazed
get her
that she's
together with Paz, because I'm
she's a
like,
fucking
you're
saint.
both nerds. Make it work.
Yeah, she's a miracle worker. That was that. Dallas has been working on that one since I think you pitched that to me somewhere in the prologue.
Yeah, that was in the prologue.
Yeah, no. So I've been sitting on that
So
one
your
for a
house,
while.
so your house has no proper heirs of its actual.
No,
craft.
it has a proper heir if no one tells anybody.
They all have proper heirs.
Which is why
I mean, I guess
talk-
technically she can do both, but she only can be attuned to one.
Well, guess what? Unless you guys start farming dragon hearts, and I'm pretty sure that she's not at the tippy top of the list. She's very unlikely to actually become attuned to it. It's just
a
it's still very rare
requirement
and
of
special.
being the heir to my house is not necessarily being a soul crafter.
Yes, it is. That is a thing your house is known for, but also you're known for just general wisdom and historical
I'm
knowledge.
pretty sure
and
my
administering the
father
family.
is not the actual soulcraft head of the Silver Tower.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just the hereditary head of your family.
I guess he's the
He's
chaperone.
the
a couple soul crafters rattling around, but it's not
he's the
required.
almoner.
Also,
Plenty of the title for this overtime.
sorry, we're still on recording, but just to say it briefly, Alestra can do soulcraft. She has a 1 in it,
Yeah,
and she actually has 1 spell. She has Hear the Soul,
no,
but
she's great.
like I said, she's bad at it. She's not. All of her years of learning at the Silver Tower has gotten to she has 1 pip and 1 spell in it.
I put it in my notes specifically that she is better at soulcraft than Nicola, but that is not saying that much.
Yeah, Nicola doesn't have anything in it.
I
tried to talk to souls once. It didn't go well.
So I think we're ready to clock out. We've covered EXP. We'll see you guys next time. Like I said, we're gonna definitely get through day 2 and definitely get as far as the start of the Grand Melee. And like I said, I'd like to, with one session, actually get into at least one of the fights. Figure out the teams. And like I said, since you told Moira to do it, I will next session brief with you guys on Darurs, so you can do a little prep work. You can do a little.
Should I prepare strategy or tactics, or should I just do something else for that case? Because I think
definitely don't prepare strategy. I mean, tactics can be useful though to eye up enemies, but it will. For sure it will be a fight. So making sure your skills of hitting and not being hit are shored up are good.
I should probably then get my third double dueling so I can do pairing with my sword pool.
That's another good one. All right, okay. It's going to be it. I'm going to call recording. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe.
Everybody.